Hello everyone!
Hello again.
And welcome to this 5th round of the 2017 WTC here
It's
in the
semis.
It is the semis.
And I've got a semi.
And
Final for you. Sorry, we got to get the bad jokes in this
and
one.
yeah, so this so now this is out of the way and this is out of my head.
No, we keep putting it in someone's face. There we go.
Every time.
It's
Yeah,
seen now.
It's much
good.
better. And so there's something interesting here is that both English teams are in the semi-finals. So
Love it.
means that there is a very
Well,
high chance.
there is a third English team, but 2 of them are in the finals.
Sorry.
Yes. Not to forget the third English team. But yes, we've got Knights and we have Lions. And on the other stream is going to be Lions versus Germany. And then on our stream we're going to have Norway Munin versus England Knights. So that should be an interesting game. Norway Munin's teams, we've just been having a look through this, we'll go through them, but it's very strange, I
think they're playing double
there.
Cryx or something.
They got double Cryx, double Protector of Menoth, and Signal. So let's have a quick...
They are even, in terms of meta, I think they're even 3 months.
Exactly, yeah, they are like 2 years ahead of America at this rate. So anyway, let's go into the
first
the
is
list.
Christian, is playing Thyron 1 and Amon 1.
Okay, so this looks very similar to... Actually, no, hang on, has he got even more? 2, 4, 6, 8,
More
10,
dervishes.
11 dervishes.
Yeah, it's all about dervishes here.
It is. This is full dervish ban. 1 vigilance, which is the one that gives cover for Amon. And then for the other list, we got Thyra. That looks very similar to the one that we saw last game.
Absolutely.
So, in fact, it might
to
be
remember, I think it's the exact same list.
Exact same list. So,
as I'm reading it, I'm like, nah, same. I think it's exactly the same.
Consensus is there on the Thyra front for the WTC anyway.
It's a very good caster though. There's
Oh
a
yeah,
lot
definitely.
of different tools available.
I think, as you said, with the amount of Cryx, there's going to be that seems to be the Protectorate's answer to Cryx, in inverted commas.
And then we have, we should have bet. So it's Dark Ghost, Gorshik 2, and Ghost Fleet.
Tenegra 1. I think this is the one where they're sharing. So I think Coven Dark Host is in the other Cryx.
Oh yeah.
Denny Ghost Fleet is in this one, and then they both have a Ghost. I think they might have a double Dark Host, and then
that's
very possible. We'll see anyway. But
so
in this
nothing
one,
very specific to say about those 2 lists. We've seen them already.
Yes.
And we're probably gonna see them again. So. Let's talk about
second Protector of Menoth.
Yeah, yes, Krios 1 and Vindictus.
Pop and drop.
Drop.
Gotta love some pop and drop.
Isn't this latest tier list that has appeared for Menoth? Because I've heard like a couple of Menoth players saying, hey, you know what, the latest thing that just dropped, it is interesting, but only for Krios 1. So I'm not sure because I'm not savvy enough about Menoth.
I'm not. Every time a Menoth post comes up, it's generally someone complaining. So I'm into the Menoth. But I mean, these seem to be doing fine. There's currently 2 of them in the semi-finals. So.
I have a question. Is Menoth the new Scorn?
Is Menoth the new Scorn? How do you mean by that? As the ones that complain? Or?
Yes.
No, I think Circle have taken that. Circle are definitely way far ahead of Scorn at this rate. But anyway, so back to the list before we miss too many meta.
Well, it looks like, I don't know if you have the Twitch thing, I don't think.
We'll just go onto the Twitch, see if there's any questions you guys have on there. Sorry, let me just refresh.
It's okay.
The list. There we go. Right, so we're now back watching, so if you do have any comments or questions, throw
Go
them
ahead.
on the Twitch chat for us.
Then we have Vindictus with the Team Exemplar Interdiction.
So this has, if you see, it's got 2 max units variants and a min unit variant. And
2
they've
units
got
of
a massive void. And Vindictus is very good because he's got speed ups for his inventory and he's got the feat that basically says you can't charge me, can't shoot me, can't magic me. So that is like that kind of reminds me of like Thexus Horde, just a lot of bodies flying at you, not being able to do much to them. So yeah, that's quite
those
interesting.
those bodies I think they're probably gonna hit much harder and or actually they're going to be more accurate.
More accurate, and they're just going to be there. I mean, they're going to be further up because of the thing. They're going to be advanced deployed, so they're already like 8 inches above the deployment line, and then they're going to be able to just run at you. So if you win first turn with that list, that's going to be we'll see that if that ends up on the table. They're just going to be past that halfway line.
So yeah, so it's going to be weapon master charges.
So that's like, yeah, that's 26 men.
We can count, but at least.
Yeah, a lot of them. Right, then on to
we have
Seether. So this is double host.
Oh wait, Dark Coast Coven.
Yeah.
And Asphyxious 1 Dark Coast.
Yes. So we've seen these before. I'm pretty sure that's a very similar list to the Asphyxious 1 host we saw in the other Norway team.
2 min Bane Riders and 1 max Bane Warriors. So maybe there was
some slight, maybe there was a bit of a dispute between the Norway people as to which was the best one. So Svea's gone with this, and then obviously he's gone with the Coven list. I can't see any. Really, no, it's got Desecrator.
Yeah, we've seen it. We've seen different flavors like Scavengers or I don't remember. There was a Stalker at some point, but usually it's that.
It's pretty much doing the same thing, and then somehow Signaris, the last list, and there's only one Signar.
Let's see.
Which
Could
crazy.
It be Striker 82?
I never would have bet there'd be double Protector Men off.
Me too. And it is. Oh, it's actually Nemo 3 and 82.
Ah, right. Okay.
So that's we haven't seen Nemo 3 at all.
We've not, no. So that'd be great. That just burns through a lot of things, to be fair, especially in Storm Division. You've got your Fireflies, you've got his feet. You've got a million Electroleaps, and maybe not as many now actually, because thinking about it, the Stormlancers he's got 2 min, so maybe with knowing that the kind of the buff nerf that came in where they lost the shooting.
But I think they're still going to be fine. I mean, those 2 Storm Striders on their feet, it's going to do a lot of damage. The Stormcallers, they're going to do a lot of damage. Thunderhead, electricity everywhere.
Stormcallers really goes well because they get around a lot of defensive tech. So if you've got stealth, weird things like that, they just ignore it. And with the has he got? Oh no, he's not got. I thought I read a storm on there, but yeah, I mean. If Thunderhead gets anywhere near for a pulse and there's a Firefly nearby, that's a lot of dead things.
And if I remember well, Alan Strange OS, it does have a spray which is electric, right?
Yes, he does. I'm pretty sure. I think that's one of his magic abilities, and he can also hand out magic attacks, which is obviously very useful
against something that would have a lot of ghosts or.
Yeah. And then the Haley list, I'm pretty sure that's. Yeah. Oh no, it's got a Cyclone and a Storm Wall, so that one's actually probably pretty good into your hordes because they're able to put multiple covering fire templates out. So yeah, things will just die if they try and get through there. So that's pretty good scenario control.
Yeah. And now,
and back on to England Knights. Now we've seen these guys before. They were there earlier, but just to give a quick overrun, so we've got the Ostrom.
Alex with Thexius Ostrom, pretty common pairing when you're playing mercenaries. A lot of bodies, like a horde of drudges.
Yes.
On the other side.
We got this one, which is a slightly different variant, only 1 siege crawler, but maxed out on the Forge Guard, and has a basher as well.
Yes.
So instead of the 3rd driller, he's obviously been able to move points around, take this 3rd heavy. And then max out on those Forge Guard instead.
Then we have Andy
McBurney.
Oh wait.
So he's taken a very new and different approach to Cryx.
This is a very interesting list. I don't think we have seen this list before. There is a lot of thinking and tinkering. Like we can see right here, that's been going, on his mind to create those lists. They feel pretty special.
Yeah.
I think they might create a surprise.
Yes.
It might be a surprise for us. Maybe a win here for the first players. We'll see what happens. Yeah.
Just to answer on the thing, so we're currently going to show you Norway Munin versus England Knights. Originally it was the other way round, but obviously the German stream wanted to get the German team on.
I'm not going to comment on that.
Yes, we're not going to comment on any of the French teams that were taken from my poor French co-host here. So,
and then we have Ben Robinson.
So Ben Robinson, he's obviously. No, we did say this before. His card chip list, the one we saw with Olaf was more.
With those shooting,
whereas this has got a lot more shooting. with four bombard shots every turn. He's got the marksman in for that cheeky flag taking as well, and then the Butcher 3 list, which is that Winter Guard Command Butcher 3 list, which is just the double carriage.
Double carriage, lots of bodies to avoid Butcher 3 being estimated by shooting.
Yeah. If you've not got stealth, you're dead. And even if you make it through the guns, you still have Butcher 3 waiting for you at the end of it. So pretty tasty stuff there.
Pretty solid.
Yes. And then James has been doing well, I believe. He's most of the games I've seen in the team.
Oh yeah, the King of Nothing, and then we stream, right?
Yep, I think he's won. So we streamed the King of Nothing last time, and that was alright. So I spoke to James afterwards, and he did apologise. He said it was one of the first few games that he'd had with the King of Nothing. And he thought it wasn't very exciting, but I did. And I said, well, we said the same thing.
We were able to watch. We were able to watch a caster that nobody, I think, has had any chance of seeing on stream because it's very rare. I mean, it's not just brand new, right? Brand new. I mean, you can get some games in, but getting games in against all the various. I mean, even if you think you just play a new caster, you have to play 16 factions now? That's a lot. Yeah, that's just to play one game for each faction. That's never mind playing in 2 different lists, different teams. If you kick out 2 hours, it's only 32 hours of your time. So
Exactly. And then the other side to it as well is that this is the WTC. You can sit around and be like, oh, I want to play the nice games, the friendly games when you're at your club, but you do what you have to do to win. Yeah. That's how it works. So we might see the Dreamer this time around, but King of Nothing,
at last, it's a player nobody really knows about. He's brand new to the circuit.
I think he etched onto the team, and no one knows who he is. He's this dark horse.
Yeah, how did he actually make through the qualifiers in England? Because it's basically somebody who came from nowhere, right?
Literally walks in. There's just a shadow. Yeah, there was just exactly. He's not even from England. This is it. He was literally just a shadow walking around the room. No one knew who he was.
And at some point, his name was there, and
then boom! Suddenly we realised it was Norbert, and it was like a sun shining in the room. And obviously Norbert's come with Kador. So yes, this night's team, for all you Kador players out there that might not be too happy, we have England team that's in the semi-finals with double Kador. And this is in a WCT meta, which is predominantly Signar and Cryx.
Absolutely.
And that is they're generally foreseen as
I don't remember exactly. I think there's a website which is calculating the win rates for everybody, every faction, and at lunch, I heard somebody saying that Cryx is actually at over 70% win rate, or very close, which is huge.
That's just huge. I mean, that as we said before, though, is the game we saw last time. We did say, the double blind twice obviously helped, but we were pretty confident that it was going to Cryx either way. It just meant that it sped along quicker. So that is England Knights. It looks like they've set the pairings.
Which means you're going to have to do a little of reporting on the field.
I have to go do some.
In the meantime, I'm going to be able to show the scenario. And the scenario is going to be Zapit 2, if I'm not mistaken. But
it is indeed. It is. Yep. It is the championship belt.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It is. So you need to remember championship belt or the pit 2.
It is the championship belt with the buckle in the middle. So this scenario has 2 objectives that players are going to be able to decide on at the beginning of the game, and it has 3 zones, 2 squared zones or rectangular zones that are going to be able to will be scored by warjacks or battle engines or casters, and then 1 central rounded zone which can only be scored with units and your caster. And the objective obviously can be destroyed by whoever, and allow your team to score points when you destroy one of them. So there you go. Right now players are getting ready. They are writing things on sheets of paper, and I think judges are setting up the table properly, because it looks like some of the turns have been moved at some point. In the meantime, let's see if camera is working now, but it is. So still no indication on which player we're gonna get facing each other on the streaming table. We should get the information soon, though.
Would you rather be bombed by
So yes, we are recording every game. So that's a German nothing. Which means basically we can only stream one, but we'll be recording every game, and I think the Muse stream will be recording and streaming all the other ones. So if you're a fan of watching the English players, you should be able to see all of the games for this round. I mean, all the teams are present here. Might not go on YouTube right afterwards. I think they might need a bit of editing because we're using different computers with different cameras. So.
Very exciting.
But you're staying tonight, right?
Of course I am. We arranged this.
Yeah, we can swap shirts.
And pen.
So you didn't get the purple though? Huh? You didn't get the purple?
I wanted purple. I wanted it. Because I've never played it.
I'm not sure. I think they're just writing. Well, if you can see what's being written on this list, yes, this is what you're gonna get. So I guess the pairing has been decided already. And some of the game might have started. I see already a couple of players already working on getting the models out on the table and taking measurements. So it might have started.
Yeah, we figured it out.
But I think Andy, being the team captain, he might be in charge of filling out the paperwork. And since this is the only table that has no players, no English players currently working on his models out, I think Andy is going to be on this table, which means we will again have a Cryx player on this table, and so we'll see if this time we're going to get Ghost Fleet. The game before we had Dark Hosts. Yes, I'm going to change that. Actually, supposed to be changed already. But I'm going to change that as soon as I know who is on the table, for sure. So why is the number not showing?
There's a thing starting.
If that's... Let me reset it. But we usually put down the name of the players on the top corners as soon as we know on which sides they are. Pray for Cryx. Hashtag pray for Cryx.
I just do my Arcana. Okay. Where's Robin going? So you figure this out now?
I'll figure it out. I'm just the dad.
Do we know? Okay.
Yeah. Put it open. I'll go strike it.
I think I'm going. Let's talk about terrain first. Yeah. So
And we have careful measurements to see if every piece of terrain is properly placed.
I'm gonna go first. And then you can just.
I guess what they're doing. So, if you've been following this stream for since the beginning, we keep streaming the same table because we unfortunately don't have the setup to just move around very easily. So we stream basically the first table. The table has this obstruction, which is pretty large, and so far it has been always giving an advantage, a clear advantage to the player that was on the right side and was able to use this obstruction. Although this scenario is a bit different because it's all it's all vertical, so you might not be able to actually
Yeah, I've got all the
hide
matchups
something behind.
now. You rock on when you're ready. It's not. You don't have to wait for us.
Cool. So who are we looking at on the first table?
Okay, so on the first table we have
It's the Battle of
Sphere.
Captains.
Yeah, it's the Battle of Captains. It's a Cryx off. Just to add to the fun. So we have. It makes it a bit quicker to update the details. We've got that.
Yeah. I'm just gonna put Cryx here left and right.
Yeah.
That's easy. And there.
Cool.
Then name-wise, I'd already chosen their
We've got-
sides.
Yeah, I believe so. Yes. I believe
Yes.
so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So
Cool.
now it's gonna be Andy on the right, if I'm not mistaken. I
It
think
will
so.
be yes.
Looking at the
Andy
position
on
of
the
the camera.
right, and then Sphere on the.
So it's Cryx
So it
with
is.
Coven.
I did. They hadn't written down the pairings. I
I
will
think
just find out.
it might be the Coven.
Yeah, I've not got the signal ones either, so I'll.
So
just
wait,
be
is
back.
it Coven against Coven? The,
It looks that way.
I can help you guys.
Yeah, just need all the.
so we have a Coven off. No wait, oh wait, I'm not sure. I'm confused. So Coven on one side. And Coven on the other side. Yeah, it works. Okay, so I'm gonna be able to copy paste those. It's gonna be pretty easy.
Okay, so it's actually Gaspy1 versus
Gaspy1?
Coven. Yeah, he got Asphyxious one. Sorry, Asphyxious one. He got the ball out just to confuse us. But yeah, Sphere is playing.
So Cryx Coven for Andy.
For Andy, yes, is Cryx Coven. With the white.
Yeah.
Cool. And then on the other side we have Sphere with Cryx.
Gaspy1.
Gaspy1. That's the one.
And I'm gonna butcher his
Sphere.
name as well.
Yeah,
I don't know how
that's
many
fine.
R there is. Two.
Just the two. That's the one. Cool.
You know what? He would have been playing Ghost Fleet. I think I would have changed his name to Zviar.
Yeah. So I'm wondering because from obviously Sphere with he's got double host. So he's got two flavors of host. Andy had the Coven host and had Dennis Ghost Fleet. Maybe he thought. I mean, just looking at it, the Gaspy feet, it can do a lot of damage to the Revenant crews. It can't hit the what they called the horrible things.
The Black Banes.
The Black Banes, that's it. You can't hurt the Black Banes because it's not magical. But that could have been a big swing. Also, you know, stealth is a big issue, so I kind of feel that Andy was forced into it. I'm not sure. Gaspy's feat is going to, I think, mainly be used for assassination. Is going to be for throwing the spells.
But
I don't think it's going to be too much
what
for
are we going to do? Try to assassinate the ball, which is stealth, or the witches. They're going to be like, okay, I'm going to use free focus and negate 15 points of damage.
True, but that only works if he hit the ball, and the witches themselves, you tend to see that only one or two of them stay with the ball. You always want to get one or two going to zones, going to things. So maybe you
Although
can
in
use
this scenario, I'm not sure it's going to actually, I don't see like maybe at the final stage when this is the final point and you have to score, but everything seems to be pretty central. So it's actually, you know what? I think this is going to be an issue of who has the most Bane Riders.
Yeah, just to confirm for those in the details, it is not Norway, it is not Coven, it is Gaspy1. Yeah, you got the ball out just to fool everybody. So on the other tables, so on table 2 next door, we have Cuba with Vindictus against Norbert with Vlad 1. And then on the third table we have Christian with Ammon, so it's all the dervishes, and that's playing into the Plexus, all the bodies.
Wait, what?
Yep, so we're going to see all the jacks into all the bodies. I would not be surprised if that one ends up with the clock being part of it, just with the volume of attacks that are going to be going through back and forth. So yeah, that one's going to be an interesting one to see.
Yes.
We then have
Because with the sidesteps, you could actually kill enough Trages.
Yep. We then have Signar on the 4th table, and Dreamer. I missed off what Tor's. See, unfortunately, when I was up there trying to get it, I didn't get to see. So I'm going to say Haley 2. I'll just be right back and see if I can see a Stormwall.
No, the house
It is double Strider.
So
Double
it's
Strider, so
actually
it is
Nemo
Nemo
3.
3 versus Dreamer. I mean, that's a lot of damage, but
The thing with those Electroleaps is that they can trigger sacrifice so easily by bouncing on a small thing behind that would just die.
I think it has to come from. Oh no, it doesn't. Yes, they did rule for sacrifice that because it says an enemy model destroys, it doesn't say an enemy attack. So because, and it was the same with covering fire, that if you have something go into, say for example you put covering fire out, you run a Dreadrot in, the Dreadrot dies, the model was the source of that damage, it wasn't an attack, so it gets around a lot of things like vengeance, all that weird stuff, but it doesn't get round sacrifice, so that'd be interesting. Also, the final table we have Cryx with Denny 1, so it's Jonas with Denny 1 against Ben Robinson with Butcher 3.
Haven't we seen this game before?
It was a different
was
list.
Dark Host.
Yeah, it was Dark Host, and it
was not the same Butcher.
Olav's Butcher 3 with the Madeline. So that works really well into Host. Well, obviously Olaf wasn't too confident with it, but the theory behind it is that because the majority of damage from Host comes from melee, once you get rid of the Wraith Engine and the Jax, all those Cryx can't hurt Butcher. Not the case, obviously, with Denny, so we'll see how that all ends up.
So predictions?
So we'll go with
I want to go with
captains.
Fixes.
You want to go with Fexus?
I want to go with Fixes in the first one.
Trying to think, so...
The thing is, okay, so ultimately it comes to this, the mana list has so many dervishes that I think it might be able to get through. But I want to see Fixes win.
Yeah, I was going to say that for me, it's the volume. Yes, they have the attacks. They're all quality attacks. They're all good attacks. There's only so much focus you can hand out.
And they're
if
wasted
one
on the
toughs,
small
and then literally every single drudge in that army is going to be doing damage in return. And yeah, so I'll agree with you on the Thexus front. Okay, the next one we've got. Sorry, we've got them in a little weird order because the
I
way
will go with Denny.
works. Yeah,
I'm going to go with Denny.
I'm trying to think, but
I don't think there's a tech here in the Butcher 3 list that's going to really allow to...
Thinking about it, the Butcher 3 list, it can't deal with any substout. So the only thing it's going to be hurling at Denny is going to be the gun carriage blasts and the mortar blasts. So I mean that's still 4 blasts, and if Denny, that might mean that Denny has to be honest, because power 10 and power 8.
But it's just a matter of those gun carriage. You
get
the feet,
Parasite,
you get the thing,
definitely,
you get this huge -5 swing into the armor, and so all of a sudden the pirates, the gun of the pirates is just -3.
Gun it down. Yeah, it's not the greatest, but
things could happen.
You know what? So we can see how the predictions are going. So you're going to go Denny.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Butcher 3 on this one. I think we're going to come back and it's going to be a weird assassination where Denny spent her stack doing all the details, and then the mortars and all the other things have managed to blow her up.
So the second one, the third one, sorry, is going to go to Vindictus.
I'm with Vindictus on this one. That army, advanced deploy, the extra distance, it can't be shot by non-magical guns for the feet turn. Vlad has no magical guns. Yeah, I can just see that entire army hitting Vlad. This is normally quite a dead scenario because, as you see, most armies kind of meet in the middle and don't they can prevent scoring. Yeah. But if they're already starting past the zones, it's going to be really difficult I mean, you've got the Jacks, but once the Jacks go down, Winterguard aren't wanting to charge into a zone, and they, as much as people hate Winterguard, they're still 12-13 stat line with 1 box. They will just die in droves when you actually attack them. So yeah, I think we're looking at a Vindictus win then.
The thing we're watching right now, I want to go with, I think it's going to be Coven though, because the fact that you could deny the line of sight.
Line of sight is
For one
very
turn,
helpful. I
for
think
one round.
the armor is just too much for Gaspy to bring any swing with his
I think
feet.
for me, Andy has more Bane Riders, which means he has like the more threat range.
Yeah.
And he's able to. There's Darragh on the other list, right? I think I saw Darragh.
I mean,
somewhere.
I'm pretty sure Gaspy has some kind of RFP.
He has a fire. I'm pretty sure he has a fire, but
Yeah,
but is it gonna do anything?
probably not. I mean, you can see, as I said, I think you might see what he might do is just pop his feet early, run something next to the opposing Wraith Engine, and just use his feet to fire down the Wraith Engine, just to get that swing.
Because
other than that,
again,
magic weapons wise
know-
as well, there is not a lot of magic weapons.
Well, it's the Coven. You can crit blind the Wraith Engine.
Yeah, so
and then
yeah, so
you
they
can
both
just walk it,
yeah,
which
so-
is still something. But
So I think actually looking at it from the Gaspy point of view, there's not a lot of magic weapons in that list. So therefore, the only real way of taking down the Wraith Engine before it gets to just attack is going to be that feat. So we might see that as something that happens. And the opposite way, again, not many magic weapons, but as we saw in the last game, crit blind's a thing, and the Wraith Engine will be very sad to be crit blinded most of the game.
although it also means that this Wraith Engine can just stay in the middle and be like, I'm fine, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm unfortunately I've never seen it, but is it anything that the what touches the ball gets stealth? So the
Yeah.
Wraith Engine. So the
Yeah.
Wraith Engine, if he thinks that
He
might be
could get
coming,
stealth, yeah.
he could just put ball next to the Wraith Engine. So again, yeah, I think Coven is on let's say advantage, because we can't obviously at this level of gaming, the players are going to pull off weird, crazy things.
Looking at James' list, so he's playing the Dreamer, right?
He is a Nemu 3. Now, he's only able to make one thing magical. So that means that killing those gremlin swarms might be difficult.
How? With the Arlen Strange Ways?
Arlen's Strange Ways,
if he took his objectives properly, he's gonna have another objective to get to put magical weapon or something
That is
else.
true, so that'd be 2. So the gremlin swarms, that's possibly an issue for the Dreamer. The leaps. Now the thing is, I think this comes down to whether this is all down to positioning, because the leaps, even on feet, are just not gonna cut it. Even if they're power 12, 3 dice, they're gonna tickle the rages.
I would have given it to the Dreamer, to be honest, but I don't feel there is enough staying power. The list would have had more cage erasures and less
Yeah.
killing moans probably, but when Nemo is gonna feed, it's gonna be complicated.
Yeah, those kind of moans, I imagine they're gonna be Def 17 when it's important because of the artifice. So they're all gonna get cover. So, and also having 5 Krabbits means that getting direct shots on them might be difficult. So we're generally gonna see Electro Leaps.
But they
Prior
might,
to anything happening, those Gnomones are only going to be armor with Nell 19. So they can still do damage with those leaps, especially if you can get a 5-fly nearby. So it's dice of 7, multiple.
Why does Andy only have 55 minutes on his clock? That's a very good question. Why does Andy has only 55? Why does he has only 55 minutes on his clock?
I don't know. Is it 59?
It's 55. No, is it 59?
It might be 59. They might have done the whole thing where you start the clock
Yeah,
and it nicks a second. I'm sure Andy is aware of this and will fix it if
seen
needs
it.
be.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's probably 59.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it might just be a split second that's taken, which, if Andy loses by a second,
Then it will be.
then fair enough, we can have that conversation, but I'm sure it won't really.
So here I want to take a bet and put Nemo 3 up, to be honest.
Still
But
going with Nemo 3? Uh-huh.
I know I'm very behind in terms of predictions. So
I'm going to go Dreamer on this one. I think if James, which positions correctly, uses the Krabbits correctly, he can blunt a lot of that damage that's coming in, especially if he takes something like Sacrifice. Yeah, if you can take something like Sacrifice, you can take the damage, then split it onto a Krabbit, then the Krabbit dies,
and then it's like, hey, you know what?
it.
Everything is back up.
Yeah, the reason why the Nemo player will get ahead is going to be if the Nemo player is very clever with his Electro Leaps, or if James doesn't protect himself against Electro Leaps. So, for example, the Dreamer will just die to Electro Leaps. She's only armor 14, Def 15. She can be Def 19, but that doesn't matter to the Electro Leap. So it will all come down to whether James can protect Dreamer, how he positions, and then I think he has what it's needed to actually stop the Dreamer doing the details.
Yeah,
So,
you know what? I want to gamble on this one. I want to put number 3. Okay. Even if it's if it takes me.
Okay, so let's have a look. So we're currently on the scores: 16 for me and 9 for me. I say 9 for you. So
but it is the only way for me if I want to get up.
You need to. This is the round where you'll catch up. So just for everyone who's watching at home, the current predictions we have is we think Thexus is going to drown the Ammon with all the dervishes in just bodies and just get through that way. We think that it's a split decision. It's going to be Denny versus Butcher 3. We think, I can agree that Denny's probably advantageous. I just can't help but think that list has got so many guns, so much blast, that we might see a cheeky assassination from blast damage. And if he camps with Denny, then she's not doing work. So it's one of those things. And there is so many guns in it that it might just, just plow through enough of the recursion side of it.
We'll see.
The other side is, obviously, guys, we're talking about the list, we're looking on Conflict Chamber. So all the lists are on Conflict Chamber. If you want to go and have a look along, you can make sure. Just someone said, Borkian better lucky than good, Chris. Yes, exactly. But it's one of those things, like, if your opponent is just used to the fact that, no one ever attacks Denny. No one ever attacks Denny. She's got stealth, she's far away, all this kind of thing. If they're not aware of that, they've never come across that before, they can leave models nearby. Even things to drift, because there's 4 shots coming out the gun carriages, which are all power 8 blast, and 2 power 10 mortars. So that's 6 templates. Never mind the little templates from the rockets. That's 6 4-inch templates, which with no cam, they can kill Denny, not a problem. So it comes down to, you might end up seeing just Denny on her own with nothing around her. So this game's looking like it's kicking off. So it's first turn for
we can see a good use of the obstruction right away from any side when he's going to be, he was able to put those 2 clouds right away and be like, you know what, this is, my bunker is probably going to be behind those 2 clouds, or between the obstruction and those 2 clouds.
Now, I was going to say a big difference in this game is last game we obviously had Ryan behind that obstruction, and he was the host player. He could just, that obstruction wasn't that big an obstruction for him. He could just run stuff through the building. Now that both lists are ghostly, that functionally all that does now is it's a no landing zone that blocks line of sight. So it looks like the zone's actually slightly, in this scenario, the zone's slightly over, so it still presents that. It actually probably better for Seether here, because he can fit models behind the building to prevent things coming through and still be in the zone.
But he wouldn't be able to charge.
He wouldn't be able to charge, but if he can line, so that warrior unit, if he's got models on the other side of that building, that prevents him getting his, because they can go through it, but they can't obviously end in the building, and they can't end in other models.
So as long as you put something in front of it, that's it.
Exactly. And then for line of sight issues for charging, you can't see something that's on the other side, so therefore you're going to get that difficulty of trying to kill something that's on the other side of the zone. So so going first for Seether's working out for him there. He's flying his whole army up. It's quite
so after you used, I think Darragh Wrathe went for the +1 movement.
Okay.
I can see those Banes are slightly ahead, and Yep.
So what are your thoughts in the chat then, people? Are we spot on? Are we totally off? Do we not know what we're talking about? We know that already, but we're here to make it entertaining.
And I don't know why the French coach is now in the room. I'm very curious to see what the Norwegian team that defeated this team is doing now. Yes.
I just have a look. I think Alex is actually, because of the ambush, Alex is actually on the opponent's other table because he's ambushed in the dredges.
That's right.
So now you've got 2 players on one side of the table, just to make it interesting. I thought someone, like some random team person, had come over and was talking to Alex about his turn, but actually no, that is his opponent. They're both on his opponent's
I'm gonna
deployment
put my
side.
stuff here, here,
Yep.
here, and there.
So basically, Alex now is going to get work up during this game as he has to keep working back and forth around the table.
He's gonna lose
So
time.
we should have put him on the end table. You know?
True.
So then he can, there you go.
Famous
Alex is
captain
back
might
around
have
the
seen. I don't know.
back around the other side. So, right. So we can see min unit facing off against what I believe is a maximum unit in Andes. Let's have a look.
It's shield wall, it's really open wall. Yeah, I do love it.
That could be. Yes, that's so. The two Bane Rider min units are facing off against each other. This is going to be such a weird, weird matchup where people just go into threat range now.
So
I'm
we're
trying to think how that would work. So I think in this case, actually, Coven does have the advantage because when they feat, he can feat to the point of he can actually, what he could do is he could shove in, feat, be within walk and attack range with maybe one or two of his knights. If you walk in and attack, I don't think they've got the chops to actually just kill them. I mean, maybe you can get something on them.
It's about, it's about 13. Isn't going to kill another cat.
Yeah.
Kill Bane models.
So all you'll do,
and then they come back and it's like, yep.
Yeah.
Eating you for breakfast.
At that point, what you do is you just damage them. So you're not actually. Let me just see if I got the right Lich. Yeah, so Lich 1, he has Parasite, so maybe if you can get Parasite on them, then you can walk and kill them. But if not, you're just going to damage them, you're going to trigger Vengeance, that's going to mean the Knights will get two attacks, basically.
You want to trigger Vengeance, but like if you put -3, they're going to be defense to armor 15. If they're armor 15, you hit them with about 13 without a charge, it means you basically do 7. So it's stats.
Yeah.
So you need to hit and then you need to do this number.
Yeah.
So unless
So
you could
there's
be
a good
very
chance of
sure, but
not
if you have only 3 models to kill those 3 models and the odds are 50-ish, it means, it's
I think that's
dicey.
a trade. That's a trade in the Coven's favour because if he leaves one up in charge range of something like the objective, something important, so he's got to try and get rid of it. If he advances in, because he's not going to be able to see it, he advances in, hits him, maybe kills him, maybe doesn't. But whatever happens is he triggers Vengeance, and then he either, if he doesn't want to do that, he has to maybe back away because he's therefore still in charge range of the.
There's no way to be able
advantage.
to avoid a charge.
Yeah, it does look like
Charge back.
the charges are actually going to be in Andy's favour. Although that Darragh Wrathe with the extra inch, that could be vitally important because when everything's got the same start lines, having that extra inch makes all the difference.
We agree, but I don't know. It's just you might, you can have an extra inch, but if you can't see, you're not gonna go anywhere.
That's true.
But if you have that extra inch, but you sit in the dark, you might still miss your objective by 1 inch or so.
Oh, so many innuendos. We're staying classy. It's fine.
I don't know what you.
We are a classy stream.
It was a very classy.
Very
comment.
classy stream. So
It's too bad we don't have the thing to write on the stream anymore.
yeah, so I'm thinking just going back to that Alex game just while there's the kind of dancing around each other's threats and stuff. So that's one thing I never considered on that game. I mean, obviously we did say that we thought Texas was going to do well, but although you've got lots of dervishes, having to send dervishes backwards, or off to a side, or I mean, you might have ambushed on both sides.
If you let those ambushing units, go back at your backlines and just start murdering your courier.
Yeah.
Oops.
Exactly. And how many do you send? If there's one unit either side, do you send 2 dervishes each side? And if that's the case, you've now only got
Well,
8
still
dervishes going
Brazilian
forward.
but even if you send only one, I feel like the one dervish is gonna get in, kill 1, 2-ish guys,
Yep.
is gonna get punched in the face.
Yep.
Probably something get broken, probably not, but it means that those 2 dervishes will be tied in the back for at least 2 turns.
Yeah.
That's something you're gonna put forward, so it's gonna be participating in the front line, into the scenario, and that's okay. Dervish is not very expensive. They're only gonna be 14 points. They're not gonna be able to use, but still, that's 14 points.
And
And if you get
see here,
swarm,
there appears to be a wrecker that's charging in against something, so Bane's coming in. Pray for Cryx at the next.
hashtag pray for Cryx.
Yeah.
Whatever teams ends up being the world team champion, Cryx will have won this tournament.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Well,
But
I mean,
everything
I have to
is
try and
fine.
find that site with the
I
percentage.
think it was
wins so
a
far.
Tableau software thing, so I'm trying to find it. Actually, if you guys have the address of this thing, put it in
Back
the
to Andy,
stream.
by the way. So this will be Andy's.
It's
This is
gonna-
Andy's first turn, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So it looks like he's already looking for position for massive ball to feed, right? Or
Yeah. So I think so what he's now doing is measuring out maybe the walking threat, maybe with Darragh.
so many templates. I think I'm gonna buy.
I
set
wonder
of
why
those.
he's wondering which of the wraiths are within the Wraith Engine's area. He's not got any. Is it magic attacks that as well? That
The
Wraith
Wraith?
Engine.
I don't think so.
I didn't think it was,
I
but
thought
why?
in the beginning I thought even Tartarus had a magic attack, but it's not even the case. So it's
Let's
pretty
have a
limited.
look. Oh, and it is ranged and magical attacks. So the Unhallowed, so it is
Oh, yeah.
models and excline range. So what he's done is he's just checking which of those lanes is out, because then if he wants to get a cheeky stingy in the burst, he could maybe take out a knight. But I'm not sure why you do that, because you just
Well, no, I
therefore
think
giving
if
threat
you
vengeance. Yeah.
if you want to target something with Stygian Abyss, it's definitely going to be the opposite. Wraith Engine, but it's not really useful as this. The Wraith Engine is probably going to be almost 20 against those spells, so you're going to have to boost damage. You go at 3, you're going to do 3, 4 damage, 5 damage maybe. It has 26 well, so
Not good. But so here we see, so we've got the 3-on-3, the riders on riders, and you can see he's positioned those riders. I think I didn't see the measurement, but I think pretty much those riders are either able to see out the forest, able to see the objective, or the other rider unit. So, and then there's been some Banes mixed in the middle.
you know what's missing here? The Gorshit to tactical whatever leadership thing that allows all the Banes to go for each other.
Yes. Just means that the Cryx player has to think it through a bit
Yeah,
more.
it has to think. Yeah.
That doesn't sound right. We all know that that's not the case. That's why we did theme lists.
I switched from Scorn to Cryx.
Okay, so just an update from the Butcher's Free Cryx table. We've not seen either side put their hands in their heads, so there hasn't been a cheeky Denny knockdown assassination or
Yet.
a blast damage assassination yet. So
Pretty early into the games
Let's
though,
see.
we're like I think only 20 minutes each. Or it might be actually, our table started afterwards since Andy had to write all the names and everything.
right.
Andy and Zver actually, I think, because if they're both captain,
yeah, it is
funny,
actually
both
captain.
captains are Cryx players.
Although to be fair, there was there's 2 Cryx players on one. That's 3 in 10. 3 in 10.
30% of the board is undead.
Although to be fair, there's only one Signar. So what does that tell you?
That is true, but I feel like
One Signar
with
and 10.
AE2 being toned down, I guess maybe not a lot of Signar, but I guess if you're Signar, maybe you've said maybe I should go with something else.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't feel as powerful as before.
I do wonder if there's any K-Door players out there who are can't wait to see the K-Door list if they do well. I mean, it seems if Knights take it home, that's a team with double K-Door. Was it not a single Signar in there?
I don't think so.
No, double K-Door, Grimkin, Cryx, and Mercenaries. It is the A team of the WTC world. There's none of the. I mean, we've got Andy obviously playing the list you'd expect, but outside of that, it seems pretty. Although to be fair, this Norway team is not exactly typical either with double men.
Yeah, with the man enough, yeah, that's nothing. But I think this is something like, you know, if you try to think your matchup through and you're like, oh, this tournament is definitely going to be dominated by Cryx and Signar, we should get something that definitely counter those and, you know, is still able to take other matchups and would be weird enough that people actually, you know, cannot come prepared.
Yeah.
That's a way for you to be able, you know, to win over so many teams that are, you know, are middle in terms of skills and experience. They are like in the middle area, and you just say, hey, you know what, I'm using this, and the opponent is like, I never heard about this caster, I don't know what he does, I don't know what his tricks are, I don't know what the game plan is, and you just fall for the trap right away.
Yeah.
So that's, I think it's probably one of the things that the Norwegian team went for, is like, you know what, we know all this, we know all enough.
Yep.
We want to go for this. We're going to, you know, run for this, and they are here in the semifinals. So something that I've worked at some point, especially Vindictus. Like, seeing Vindictus.
Yep.
First thing, seeing Vindictus. Second thing, seeing Vindictus here in the semifinals.
Yep.
There's something.
Yes, definitely. Look. Yeah.
By the way, this one was for you.
Oh, this one's
Yeah,
for me.
so-
Thank you very much. Right. Should I go have a gander, see
Yeah,
what's going
because
on?
I think Andy is just gonna, you know, position his model.
This is going to be a very positioned game.
3-4 minutes. So we might have 3-4 minutes of
Should get interesting
live
after.
reporting. Yes. Things starting into each other. Undead dying again. So if you have questions on the chat about the other games, go on right now and we'll try to get them answered, as Chris is now left and is taking pictures and looking at the situation for all of those games. Currently playing between England and Norway. And as so Andy has actually a Machine Wraith. I don't see one on the Seether side, so I think the plan here is just to say, look, I'm gonna put my Machine Wraith somewhere behind this forest at some point. As soon as I neutralize your Arc Node, I'm just gonna be able to run into the zone and be kind of safe about this whole thing.
My favourite part, if you look, there's two blokes. Two elder gents have just walked into the room.
What is happening here?
Yeah, they're just
I see
a bit
people with
confused.
jerseys. Oh. They're playing with toy soldiers.
Love it.
And
Man
left.
believes. Okay, so reports from the front. Let me bring these photos back up. Okay, so yes, so that game's as we were expecting. The whoops, bring that back up again. Aha, yeah. So the Vlad into Vindictus is kind of, as we said, there is currently a massive swathe of infantry right on that centre line, all the way across. There must be 3 deep, yeah, so 3 deep units of Errants, and currently in combat with them is the 3 Marauders and Juggernauts. So they are basically going in, holding them back, and then you have all that infantry, that Winter Guard infantry behind them.
Isn't that, you know, like you guys cannot really see it, but basically there's a front line that's clearly determined by the jacks all lined up.
Can you put it on the big screen? I'll show it to the camera.
This?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what I can do here. It's probably gonna be weird, but okay. This is the game with Norbert, and so basically, as you can see, there's a line of jacks, and now I guess
You've got all those errants.
Then he just has to feet.
Damn reflection. Yeah. So
Denny
Vindictus, I'd imagine Vindictus is defeated. So.
Oh wait, am I confusing?
Yeah, it's Vindictus.
It's
So
Vindictus.
that's
Sorry,
Vindictus
yes.
with this
Okay,
swathe
yeah.
of
Thought
people.
it was the name.
So yeah, so you can see. So basically, with that one, It's just so much bodies, so much bodies that you can't charge, so much bodies that you can't shoot. So I think, I think we're still there with the Vindictus. Norbert's kind of got the right idea. He's using his Jax as like a stopper to try and hold them back, so then he can use his Winter Guard the following turn once they're post feet to actually shoot them. But I just think there's too many bodies. They're all weapon masters. Those Jax are just gonna go down.
Any of those bodies like getting into the middle of the, the Winter Guards. Actually, they can still combine melee, right?
I don't think they can combine melee.
They don't have
Pretty sure they can't, but they're just all weapon masters. They do have battle driven. I know that.
I'm talking about the Winter Guard because
the Winter Guard. Yes.
If you're like, you could get as a math player, you can start running things to make sure they don't shoot. But I'm afraid they would still be able, by combining with enough dudes, just killing them enough guys and be like, hey, we took care.
Okay, let's have a look. So on the stream, they think the Germans are favoured 3-2 to 4-1. What was your prediction for this match? Can England do it?
What did we say?
Oh no, this is on the other game. So unfortunately, we're sat about 3 feet away from those games. So we can't really go into too much detail.
We can't really talk because they're gonna hear us, and if we say, we think this guy has the possibility to do a caster kill right now, we might be right, we might be wrong, we don't know what we're talking about. So
we unfortunately don't know the matchups. I mean, we can kind of see them ahead of us. Just from the perspective of, I know the Lions guys. I travelled over with them.
I would say it's too early to call.
I know they're all very prepared. They're all, they all know what they're doing. They've all got their matchups. They know what they're good into. But the Germany team, exactly the same. I think this is that level where you can't really predict it. Either game, I would not be surprised if this went, like you said, 3-2 either way. But once you actually speak to it, any of those games could have gone either way.
Yeah.
That's how I think, because they all each know what they're doing. So matchups, I can't expect either side to get some really bad matchups, or if they did, it's because the other side also got a good matchup.
I think he's talking nice versus Norway.
Oh.
So.
Okay.
What did we say?
Sorry, just when you said the Germans are favoured, what do you think? On this side, we will go. Well, what was our prediction? So we went for Vexus there, Vindictus there, so that's 1-1. I put Coven instead of Andy. So that's 2-1. Okay, so we are 2-1 with 2 disagreed details. So I'm 4-1 England, and you're 4-1 Norway.
Really? A 4 Norway? Okay.
Yeah, but we agree on 2-1 to. Oh no, sorry, you're 3-2.
Norway?
Yeah, you're 3-2 Norway. I'm 4-1
England, because you're completely biased.
Totally biased.
Completely biased.
I'm not gonna lie. Englishmen on the stream, 2 English teams on the streams.
Yes.
We bring top
living the
quality
dreams.
teams and top quality commentary staff. Yeah, so Unseen Lurker there, he's saying that is kind of the list to lose there. Oh, okay, so just on this stream, just while we're
wait, we have like a undead Wraith Engine charging something. You know what? Wait. Can he actually hit the ball? What are we looking at right now? There's an objective in the middle. No, there's not an objective in the middle. What is this? There seems to be some kind of proxy base. There seems something happening.
All of that stuff.
And of course, we're missing those. Wait, if it's
might be a knight.
Why would the clock be turned at that point? No, if you're doing attacks.
No, I don't think it was meant to be.
So what is this? Oh, it's on a. Okay, it's on a chicken.
That is the
So it's
Reaper.
The Death Engine just charged, right?
Okay.
So this thing is gonna be killable next turn.
How is? No, I don't think it's charged. I think it's just advanced.
Oh, and you think there's something else we can't see?
I think we've got a feat token there, so it couldn't have charged. But with that kind of damage roll, yeah. So he's taking out the Arc Node. That's his goal.
So what? So the Wraith Engine just walked in and
The Wraith Engine walked in. It's really fast. I'm pretty sure it's like speed 7 and reach.
So we're losing an Arc Node, but in the exchange here, it means that the how he was able to hit it with -2 to its mat.
Is that only living models?
No, it's everybody.
Is that everybody?
Because it means it would be technically mat 5 trying to hit the
9
chicken
to
on
hit.
defense 14. 9 to hits. 9 to hits. It's not something you expected to work. I mean, Gaspy doesn't have anything. He doesn't have anything that would allow you to reduce the defense. On this thing when knocked, I'm really lost. We should be paying more
Yeah,
attention.
so it is -2 Mat and Rat. Minus 8 reduced.
So it's very strange because the
Rage
Norwegian
Challenge speed
player-
7. I can't imagine just looking where the gap is there. That's within 9 inches.
and he was able to destroy that specific model with, he had 3 attacks, 2 initials and a rapid strike. He was supposed to do 9 to hits. It was hitting at about 17. So okay, if you hit the target, you're probably gonna kill it. But is it worth it to trade your Wraith Engine for 1 arc now?
Maybe
I mean,
maybe they're thinking if he sticks that in, it will stop it.
That is true. That now that the Wraith Engine is right here, Seether has the possibility to just shove all of his models up into the board and be like, you know what, you have to deal with that now. I'm good.
Yeah,
that's
just
it.
deal with the damage.
I'm done. But in this case, one of member of the Coven or the bull that is right behind is going to be able to do things. It's going to be able to Curse of Shadow, Veil of Mist, whatever. It's going to be able to have that impact on the board, and I guess all the units from Andy are just going to be able to do whatever they want to do.
We'll see. We shall see. So yeah, for Miso, Cryx Mirror up in the air. I kind of think it is a bit up in the air, but we're favouring Andy at the moment because we think Coven has the right tools to deal with the Cryx matchup. So yeah, we're not quite sure on that one. So we'll just give a quick update on the rest of them. So we have Thexus into Coven, so we can see just another photo there. We've got 2 dervishes were sent to deal with the unit.
There's 2 less in the front line.
Yeah, and it looks like when I looked at the pile, the dead pile, there were 4 choir members in a rack in the dead pile already. So that's not good.
It's not, there's one thing. The dervishes that probably don't need the they don't get the mat bonus anymore, right? So okay, they wouldn't have changed anything, I guess, because in a sense, a dervish hitting a dirge, the thing is gonna die. Yeah. Okay. It's fine. It's not gonna. You're gonna have to do a 4 or 5 instead of.
But it's
3.
the magic, I think. That's
But the
stopping those
magic,
TKs.
exactly. It's the push pull. Okay, that's the feature that's gonna happen anyway. But like the TK back, basically, Amon can have mobility if you TK something back 2 inches and you put it on the other side. Well, this is a Jack that's not going to do much. It's going to be able to walk back. It's not going to be able to charge.
Yeah, Drudges don't have great mat. Dervishes are 13, I believe. So if you can turn a dervish around,
Don't they?
that's a massive difference on the
And
damage.
if you have agitators around, which I'm pretty sure
He does.
Alex has,
And he has the 2 heavies in there ready
So
to.
it's gonna hit.
Yeah, it's gonna
and
hit.
it's like what? It's going to be effective about 15 if I remember well. If you do combo strike.
Yeah.
And dervishes are more 16, 17.
16, I believe.
Ooh, -1.
No. So we're still confident that one's going the way that we thought it would go, to be fair. On the Dreamer Signar board, so Nemo, we've got, as I predicted there, you've got the Skin and Bones advancing up inside the Artifice. And then we've got millions of Kravits and Cage Rages all around. So what that's to do is, if you shoot into that main group, you'll have to try and hit them directly anyway. This could be difficult if you want to actually damage the Skin and Bones being Def 17. But the Kravit's going to just pull it away, and there's a bunch of Kravits stood near the Cage Rager, so what you can do is the Kravit takes the damage, the leap goes into the Cage Rager literally doesn't care about those. Even on Nemo's feet, I'm pretty sure they don't care unless there's a Firefly nearby.
No, it's not going to be. No, it's going to be like what, 1
Dice
2
minus
damages
9, yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, not great. I mean, the things can spike, and that's the thing about Nemo's feet is that because it's additional dice, you roll in lots of dice, you can always get lows, highs, so it can always happen.
What I'm thinking is that Nemo 3 has actually a Thunderhead in the list, which seems to be the main damage dealer. And it's one thing you're gonna have to put forward at some point. And if it doesn't do the job you want it to do, you're gonna lose it next turn.
Yep.
And here it feels like this is probably what's going to happen at some point.
Yeah. The other side to it as well is it's kind of a bad thing for Nemo because he's kind of stuck between two sides. If he doesn't do much damage and he doesn't kill anything, then when those Skin and Bones come in, they're only power 17. Manifest Destiny, albeit, but still only power 17. If he is doing lots of shooting and he kills a bunch of Krabbits, kills a bunch of Tread Rots, all those corpses go into the Death Knell, and then the corpses go on the Skin and Bones, and a armor then 21 damage power 19 with Manifest Destiny as well. That is just going to tear through anything in that army. Yeah, that one of them will one round Thunderhead, any of the battle engines, and the other side to it as well. Sorry, being attacked by a fly. The other side to it as well is although the battle engines do have the bump ability that bumps you back an inch when you attack them.
Skin and Bones is going to be able
power 19 Skin and Bones with Manifest Destiny will kill one. You know, that is going to happen. So yeah, so that's looking more in the favour, I would say, of the streamer player at the moment. And then the final table is kind of how we expected. So we've got the Ghost Fleet that's kind of advanced up in this big long line, and then you just have the hordes,
the war wagons, in front line, and then the horde behind it,
and then just hordes and hordes of Winter Guard. Lots of shots coming in. I think the Wraith Engine is facing off against the gun carriage, but from what I can see, and I'm just having a look, so I can see Darragh there. She's featured when we took the pictures. So there's two gun there's two gun carriages, and where are the mortars? So the two of the mortars will be in range of it. So I can't see any tokens next to it. It's not a great picture. So it's one of those where if you think you're just safe on your feet, and there is literally, if you look on this picture, there is a Remnant crew member stood next to her.
True. Yeah.
It's those kind of weird things that can happen.
Because in my mind, it's the moment where if Denny feeds, if she has the possibility to take out those two big models. Yep. If she does it, well, then she's gonna have this turn where not a lot of things are gonna happen because they're gonna be on the feet. There's gonna be a lot of missing, so it's gonna be down to. The current player is probably going to try to shoot those things anyway, and probably not going to do much damage, but it's going to eat up its clock pretty bad. Because it's pretty easy for the Cryx player to be like, you know what, I have those two big targets, I'm going to feed Parasite 1, put my Battle Engine in the middle of them, and be like, I'm just going to charge, shoot it, I don't care, it's gone.
I'm having a look, I can see one of those has been taken off the board, I can't see the second one.
Okay.
So since this picture was taken, one of those gun carriages, it is dead, the Wraith Engine is still there. So that must have been the start of Denny's feat when I came over. So I think Denny. I think Denny's going to take that one. I was being a bit hopeful there.
As you said, it's going to come down to an assassination. Might have an assassination.
Might have an assassination.
And everything.
The other side to this is looking at that picture
trench,
again.
Though, they can just put Denny in the trench and be probably safe from most of the.
No trenches. Also, I'm just having a look. Butcher is exceedingly close to where Denny is. So if that's Butcher, that's Butcher. Oh. He is literally directly across from it.
So you mean he could try to get in?
I mean, he'd be -2 speed.
-2 man is going to be.
Yeah, I don't think -2 man's not going to be.
Oh yeah, because it's from 9.
And he
from
starts
9
at
to
9.
7. So that's right. It's one of the. There's not a lot of models in War Machine that has -9. There is Akar, Darren Dillman, the Butcher, 1, 2, 3, and is that it? Base -9. Are those only the 3 models? That's it.
He's not going to do any damage to Butcher or the dogs. Not going to risk that. Not that. When you feat and you drop him down in speed, you don't want to then give him a free vengeance move. That's just we're not going to see that. Yeah. Also, the side where you can't run and charge, it's going to be important because that's going to mean that he's not able to increase his speed by charging. Because it doesn't matter what speed you go to, you always get the +3 as part of the charge. So I don't think he's close enough. I think that's obviously. That's why we can be rest assured that Denny will stay alive.
I'm just thinking what there seems to be. Okay, no, it's actually Andy's turn, and
Okay, so what's going on in this table here?
I think Andy is now going to try to find a way to get.
So basically what we've got is the Wraith Engines come in, kind of like a sacrificial piece, to take out that node, which does limit the Coven player quite a bit. For every node, like those nodes are really important because it keeps them safe for when they want to do their abilities. And then he's kind of got a sacrificial Bane unit at the top.
The thing here with this unit, I mean, this unit at the top is obviously going to get wrecked, and then they're going to be some repositioning back. But the second line of those units, I'm pretty sure they're going to be able to get to those Bane Riders the turn afterwards.
Yes.
Feels, or if not, they're going to destroy the objective.
Yeah.
Then in the middle,
Does feel like a bit of a law, yeah.
In the middle zone, in the middle area, we have those Bane Warriors there, and so basically Andy has to answer the threat of the Wraith Engine. He has to kill it at some point. But with Darragh, the extra inch that those Bane is gonna get, it means there are a 10-inch threat, and you see the Seether from Andy, if it's his. I hope, but colorwise it's to be his. This one is in threat range. So if it cannot move the Seether, it's probably gonna lose it next turn. Yeah, but you're probably going to need the Seether to get rid of the Wraith Engine as well. So
yes. I mean, this is the thing. It's this kind of
decisions.
Like weird trade when you've got very similar forces. When you send something in to kill it, and then they send something to kill it, it's kind of, it's this weird trading position where, he'll kill that Wraith Blade this turn, the Wraith Engine this turn, but because of that he'll lose Seether, and then they'll kill those warriors. But then is there another line of warriors to back them up? And then there's this constant trading. So it's kind of, this is like really close because, like as we said, even at the top, the riders, yes, they're going to be able to cream those warriors, but you've then got a bunch of extra warriors that will be out of threat, and you've got the riders in preparation to counter.
It's not that much of a problem to lose those few warriors or 4 warriors.
Yep.
Because next turn the the Bane unit can just say, okay, now I fit. I'm bringing back at least 2 of these guys. Is it 1 plus 1d3, right? I think it's that. There it is. The UF or the Bane Warriors. The mini feed that says, hey, I'm bringing 1 plus 1d3 guys.
I believe so.
So they might actually just come back. And if you want to try, basically you're trading the mini feed from the Bane Warriors to just get rid of some of the Bane Riders. I think in these specific matchups it's worth it. In this specific situation here.
Let's have a look. Yes, D3+1, destroy grunts, come back to the unit.
So on average roll, you get 3 back, and that's right now you have 3 menacing this zone. So that's what it is.
I mean, I suppose a smart play from Andy, or my idea of a smart play from Andy, it would be if he was to just take off that front line. I think he could take off that front line at retreat, use the reposition to actually...
It's never going to be enough.
I think it'd be enough to keep out range the Bane Riders. Not the Warriors, maybe not the Warriors.
But I think the Warriors are the one that hit very hard. So, I mean, okay, it's more or less the same thing with the brutal charge from the Riders, but in the end it's just going to be a cavalry model you're going to have to sacrifice to take down 3 guys that you don't really need to. Also, if you want to score on that top zone, you're going to have to at least leave those Bane Riders here.
Well, he would need a jack for that zone.
Oh, true.
Yep.
Absolutely. So, okay, so it doesn't matter. So they can reposition away or behind the...
I'm trying to spot where his other jacks are. So
it's going to lose this objective anyway, I guess. So
that's a good point as well. So so we could see a bit of a point swing.
Maybe the battle engine from Sphere, I think, is stowing the bottom zone. Am I correct?
It looks that way, yes.
So same thing. If Andy doesn't get rid of this battle engine, there will be some point being scored for the Norwegian team.
I can imagine that that's going to be the case there. Let's have a look.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I'd love to say that we'd select this one, but at this point, we have 2 streams and we have 4 teams undefeated. So they are the undefeated teams that we're streaming. As I said, it was a bit of a mix-up. We were originally meant to be covering the other England team and Germany, but being that page 5 DE being the hint there, they wanted the German team.
Yeah, we should have called ourselves War Room at FR to be able to stream the French games.
Exactly.
Because it's feeling like a bit bitter about this.
Just a little bit. A little bit bitter. There's definitely a smell of lemons in the in the area. So Let's have a look.
So this guy would run. Mechanics will run.
I'm gonna try to look if there is already any kind of results in.
Something alive.
Yeah, it's a bit of a. I kind of expected them to have smashed into each other by now. Okay, so one of the riders has gone in. Impact attack. Kills Bane.
You've got within 5 of me, I'm gone. And I've got loads of really high.
Oh, it doesn't kill Bane. I'm confused.
Yeah, I'll say.
And then these guys here.
Alright, there's proxy base being placed. Trying to figure out what the issue is.
Okay, and I think I have to find some.
Okay, so I think what's happened. Has he got the wrong leader model down?
Oh,
Right, there's models being swapped.
9 left.
So I think it might.
so they just realized it wasn't the right color?
Yeah.
Ah,
So I think there was a question about leadership and about being near something, and then they've realised that the leader model was the wrong one. So they swapped it around. It doesn't look like it's disturbed the game too much.
yeah, I think like even the if the leader was meant to be the latest model on the top of the Bane Riders unit on the very top, I don't think it would have mattered much. But yeah, this is the kind of thing where you could basically call a judge and be like, nope. And the judge would have to call it at the way it is on the table. Yep, this unit, this model is over here. It's not commanding the other models. I don't know what you guys have done, but this thing is not moving anytime soon. So
Okay, so we're looking like oh no. He's going for impact and attack, so he's trying to kill the double up on the riders for Banes. That's a cost-effective way of taking down Banes. Oh, there's more model swapping.
this is what is happening. So it feels like let me proxy this by taking one of my other models on the other side of the table, but yeah. Okay, impact attacks.
Okay, so impact attack carried on. Melee attack? Or is the confusion, is he not going to do his melee attack in the confusion? Oh no, you do all your
Yeah, you have to do all your
movement
man
your
first and then
impacts,
yeah. Actually, you tend to forget that you
everyone
have charge
does it.
attacks to do at some point. I remember that it's always pretty confusing. Like, of course, main impacts are part of the movement because you might have, you may have to finish your movement or something.
I don't know about you who played much into Host, but one of the things I always find the most infuriating, I mean, yes, they're good rules, yes, yes, it's a good list and stuff, but there's so many rules in that thing that you just can't, so you can instinctively, like, you need to watch out for free strikes. But every time you go, oh, free, no.
No, there's not.
Oh,
Ghostly
okay.
everywhere.
And
Watch out for T-Rains. Don't care. Ghostly. Same
yeah,
thing.
exactly. Yeah, there's so many rules in that list where it's like we used to make that joke about Mark II where it said Cryx ripped up the rule book and they forgot half the rules and Legion forgot the other half. But it is very much that way at the moment with the okay, impact attack.
Impact.
Ooh, not good damage.
It's a 15, so it's smash armor.
Okay, so charge attack.
Charge attack hits, and it's gonna be. Wait.
Ooh, that really
no,
didn't
it
look
works.
good.
It works. It's about 15 on the charge, and it's a tough. That's.
Oh, that's not good.
No.
No cheeky point for Coven there.
No, it's awful. Oh, it's not the thing.
Didn't
is
do the
still
damage on the impact. That's costly. That because even that double
the
attack.
thing is just gonna rise next
Yep.
turn and take a swing at the Bane Riders.
If the impact attack had toughed him, the charge attack just kills it. So yeah, not
Very, very good
That
roll.
looks-
I hope it's not even enough. Okay, don't forget your position, Ryan. If you need to move the clock, go ahead.
And just to confirm everyone, so that last attack there, that was the rider at the bottom of the building, in combat with the Wraith Engine. And normally you can't see through the buildings, but because of the combination of Ghostly and Huge Base, he could see the Huge Base past the building and had Ghostly to charge through. So cheeky use of combination of rules.
So that oh wait, you have more models. That at this point wasn't it just easier to just switch? You know. What is happening?
I don't know what's happening.
I'm lost. Models being swapped around.
It's crazy.
Wait, it's the judge. Don't should not throw. There's nothing happening, Simon.
Nothing is
Everything is okay.
We're all happy.
Everything is okay.
I hear you.
That's our judge there, diligently patrolling the games, keeping these ruffians in check.
And now look, he's gonna look at that guy and be like, "Yep,
What's going on?"
It's fine. I think they finished the swapping.
Fixed it. Yep, they
Yeah,
fixed it all
quickly.
before we got there. Oops. Alright, so what's going on here? So this large base. I don't think there's any more right. Oh, right, is this reposition? Repositions.
And no free strikes.
Yes, no free strikes. Oh, Ghostly.
No free strikes. Best strikes.
Okay, everything's now in correct position, I'd imagine, by that cheer. I think they've finally got to the point where everything's in the right place. Okay, in that case, I'm going to go have a check up on the other tables, see how it's going, see if Norbert has waded himself through the errands, and whether the Men Off player has waded his way through all those drudges.
Okay, quick update on the overall games, and nothing has been put in yet on the website. And in the German versus the other English team, there's nothing else yet to report. I think it feels like every game is still running, so I can't really talk too loud. Like, I'm clearly seeing 2 games here, but I can't really say, oh, I think this is going this way, this is going the other way.
Oh, yeah. He's not got.
So currently it feels like Andy is going to try to put a couple of points into this objective. Oops.
Yeah, you need to not be touching it. And then that's up.
If you are in the house, you can see normally. This is only for the forest.
If you have questions again, guys, go ahead. Chris is going on the field to do a bit of live reporting, taking pictures of all the games. He's going to come back now. And we're going to be able to know what's happening on all these other tables.
He's very dead.
As Andy's carefully calculating the ranges. Hello! So,
Hello, right,
how
so
are things going?
let's go through those games. Anything big happen here before I start? No?
Nope.
Okay, so,
There is. Andy's probably going through for the objective here. That's what's happening.
right, okay. So while he's murdering the objective, Norbert still has Jax alive. Looking at the picture, we have 4 of his Jax seem to be wading through all those errants and exemplars.
Weapon Master's errands.
Yeah, so maybe when he shoved in, that all those bodies meant that they just couldn't get those charges, and then because they couldn't get the charges, they couldn't take down the armor, And so now he's just slowly.
That could be big because at this
waiting.
moment where Butcher has actually, more or less of more places to go where he wants
Yeah.
and pick a side and start to get rid of things by himself.
Oh, this is Vlad.
Oh, it's Vlad.
Vlad,
Sorry,
yes.
I keep.
But I would
Stop
imagine
looking
at this
up, but-
point Vindictus's list has already popped its feet. Must have already
Yeah.
popped its feet because they're engaged. You've got this big wedge of Winter Guard that are coming up behind one of the forests, and so now you're going to have these guns that are able just to fire in, and you've just got all these errants caught in combat with these jacks. So I actually think this is like.
It's probably going to go into numbers way.
Yeah, I mean, currently he's looking like Norbert might pull this back. Especially, I mean, when we saw that picture, we thought sad times for Norway.
Yeah.
But obviously,
Still
by
alive.
jamming and not allowing any positions to charge, that's meant that they've not got that extra dice. It's prevented any.
Also, I
higher-
feel like even if if the men of player would have just jammed all of his stuff towards the jacks,
Yeah.
it would have meant basically very easy for Norbert to just shoot those guys because he would know exactly where they are. And he
Yeah.
could already set up his Winter Guard just to say, okay, you there, we're here. Let's forfeit movements and just light up.
Okay, so on to the Thexus game. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the dervishes left. We don't know the state of repair, but Thexus has basically shoved his entire army into that central zone, just spanning up slightly into either of the side zones, so there's not going to be any scoring, just huge volume of attacks. It looks as though the drudges that came in on the flank have now all died, but that's meant that there's 4 dervishes on that side of the table away from the main fight, so both wreckers look as though they're still running. And he is overrunning the right-hand side flank with, so that looks like it's totally controlled with Thexus in a trench. Is that a trench? Oh no, Thexus on a hill. So Thexus on a hill, pretty hard to kill. There's no guns anyway.
No.
There's nothing nearby, which is really going to give him a spot for sidesteps, and that army is still just trudging through. I think you might see a bit of a swing back of the men off way once those 4 dervishes manage to run back. But
if the Wreckers are still alive, it's usually going to be Wreckers.
yeah, it's going to be wreckers
are
and
gonna take
drudges against
2
4
dervishes,
dervishes,
straight up, and
So
then
that-
it's going to be last to whatever is left.
That is looking like a grind. The Dreamer, so it's just advancing forward. It's just this mass of flesh moving up the board. It's now in the centre zone, contesting both sides.
It feels like maybe Nemo has feet already now.
Yeah, and it looks like the objective's already been taken down, so the Dreamer must be up at least 1 because her objective is still there. One of the Skinnamones is now advanced out of the zone, so that one I imagine is the one with the corpse tokens on it, so its armour is big, and we just had basically the entire Nemo army is miles away. I'm not sure he's put it to one side, but I'm not sure if that's one of the Striders is dead or if it's just been. I think it's still alive, but it's miles away. It's really, really far out from the zones. I mean, you just can't. They're sending in the Lancers, but it doesn't. It just doesn't.
I mean,
feel...
it's going to impact, do a couple of charge attacks, probably, get those electro leaps somewhere.
The other cheeky thing
And
to
that's
notice
it.
as well is if he wants to score with his Striders and his
He's going to have to
Jacks,
put them in the zone and put
they
them
are in
harm's
walking
way. Yeah.
range of those heavies, and all James needs to do is to put a Crabbit, and he's got 1 Crabbit in the corner of the zone, and that Crabbit can take the zone because it is a war beast. So yeah, it's a crazy one. So that one I think is starting to go the Dreamer's way, and then there's lots of stuff. One of the gun carriages is gone. There's still one alive, which is crazy. It's gone back to the Cryx turn. I believe Denny's only up 1 point. When I was there was only 1 point marked. I can't imagine that went to Kador. So he's alive, but I did hear the over conversation of is Butcher immune to knockdown? That's not generally what you want to hear. So
I'm never sure about going against Butcher. I mean, if you can get enough guns, but if you feel already. If you can get enough against fine, but if you feel already, there's going to need at least parasites.
yeah.
So a Scourge and parasites, that's the only thing you're going to do. So it's fine. Okay, cool. Now, Arcanos can run for free, basically, because of that free focus. But if you don't get to parasite him, I don't think much is going to happen. And I see maybe one of the game is over? Alex and...
Now my thought is, it looks like Alex is not happy. Maybe. I think Amon might have assassinated.
Whoops. Synergy, sidestep.
That's not a good sign because that was
That's something that was a given for us.
yeah. That's a lot.
And in the meantime, again, we're not really paying
It does
attention.
look like there's a dervish next to Texas.
Oh god.
Yeah, one dervish got to
Oh,
Texas
no.
and finished it off.
It's the spirit of Malikarn. It's right there. Sidesteps into your face.
Right, so that is 1-2 Munin. This game,
Are we sure it's over
Six
though?
now.
I mean, yeah, it feels like doesn't like they're gonna move any more things. So
Alex is not looking impressed. Yeah, I think that is over.
well, we're gonna make a goal here. It's probably already one up for Norway
Yeah,
team.
I definitely think
We're
Alex
gonna have
isn't
like
doing
100%
anything.
confirmation, but looking at the
I can see a dark model that looks like one of those dervishes next to Texas.
yeah, they're removing tokens.
And
so
I
it's over.
heard something about like 10, 11, and 12 being said. So I think what might have happened is he's gone for that kind of. I mean, as we said, we're looking at it. It looks like it really did look like Norway were behind in that game. It was definitely attrition was definitely going Alex's way. So he might have just managed to get one dervish to
And then
Texas.
all of a sudden, you don't calculate the fact that you can be 4 inches behind your guys, but as long as there is somebody you can sidestep from,
Yeah. So
that's it. You know, 1 inch threat, 2 inch sidestep, another inch threat, 4 inches behind and one of your dudes. You put yourself in harm's way, you're done.
And synergy finished it off. It does make me wonder, like, how reliable that was, or if it was one of those cases where we've seen where it might only been a 10% chance, but 10% is better
I feel,
than none.
you know, if you charge, use one. If you sidestep
He
one or
definitely
twice,
couldn't have charged. There was nothing to see, so I think he's probably, because he's got mobility, sort of like walked. There was a woods, so he might have walked through the woods, hit something to sidestep up and get to Texas.
So it means that if he hasn't even used,
three
I think
attacks.
that's 3 attacks. If he's up to synergy 3, it's math 9. And let's say all the cores were dead, which might have been the case.
Yeah.
It's still power 16.
House 16. I think Texas
is not very high.
He's
It's
not very high. I think he's like 14,
14-ish,
14
yeah.
or something. He's definitely not armored stats. He's no butcher.
Other matches looking good for Germany. Oh, so let's not call
so-
anything so far. It's only, you know, right now it's just one game that is over.
Yeah. So Norway currently we think are 1-0 up. The game, although in a bit of a turn of events, the game that we thought would be easily Vindictus's role seems to be going Norbert's way. He seems to be just trudging jacks through all those bodies, and he still has a lot of Winter Guard left. So as long as Norbert keeps the Winter Guard alive, then at any point where he kills a jack, that leaves a lot of models available to be shot.
Absolutely, and so we don't really want to, you know, to remove the English players from this competition. Brexit is not set to happen before another 1 to 2 years.
I know.
So
What's going on?
we can keep them again for a couple of years.
Let's see if we've got any.
Okay, Brexit jokes, check.
Yeah. Well, we had to get them in at some point, didn't we? All right. So there's not been any. I mean, everyone's still.
I got some results in, but it's at the very back of the board. I think the Greek team won against Belarus. Belarusi in French we say, which is completely different. So we're totally us on how to pronounce this one.
Okay. So on this board, Andy appears to have advanced his Wraith Engine in.
Yeah,
But that Wraith Engine is still there, although it is giving Dark Shadow. So that just means that it's easier for those warriors to kill stuff in return.
I think here if the Wraith Engine is here, actually it doesn't look like it attacked at any point, but if the Wraith Engine had attacked, it would have been like a big body there to protect the Seethers in the back. But I'm not actually sure this is something that is interesting to do. Oh, and so the Wraith machine at the bottom has now been placed on a hill or in the rubble on the zone and which basically means that we have a point. No, we have turn to 1 point for Andy.
I lose a little bit coming out, but
So now, basically, because of the Machine Wraith being in the bottom zone, Seether is going to have to use Asphyxious and feed, or not feed actually, but just has to, you're going to have to channel another fire or something to get rid of that model.
Okay, just a notice there. All of the games, not just the one that we're recording, are being recorded.
Yes.
So they will be up on YouTube, War Room PL. So obviously you can check out all the other games and see for yourself how they went, not just our commentary there. And obviously this one.
You know what? I'm up for this. Every time I mention Brexit, I have to take a shot. Let's get shots.
We need to make it to the final.
That would be great. Every time
time
somebody's taking a shot on the board, we're taking a shot. I'm not driving.
No.
I'm good.
I need to live. That's all I'm thinking about. That won't go well. That will not go well at all. So let's have a look. So just make sure. Obviously, you can see what's streaming here, and they'll be recording the stream on. So if you want some, idiots commentary going through the games, you can watch that one. Or all the other games are just being recorded anyway. And we'll go up on the YouTube channel.
So I'm thinking that maybe I got this wrong. I think Andy scored 2 because I see the. No, it's only 1 because it's only 1 because
One objective down.
it's the objective down and that's it. He needs a jack at the bottom and he would have needed to put a jack on the top or one of the Coven witch actually, and remove that last Bane that didn't want to die thanks to tough.
Yeah, I don't think putting the Coven in the zone would have been worth the potential.
Well, you could be up 3 points on scenario.
The other thing to take note here is Andy is on 22 minutes.
Oh yeah.
And Seether is on 35, and I'm pretty sure Seether went first, so there's been a lot of thinking time, a lot of model swapping time as well, a lot of thinking time happening for Andy. So, I tell you what, we've been pretty good so far, but these rounds seem to be trickier. Things are not going the way that we expect them to go.
Well, yeah. We as we are getting higher in the tournament.
True.
It's normal that we're getting games with a lot more at stakes and people really thinking things through and sometimes taking having moves that wouldn't have thought about but seems to be the right move in a situation they're looking at. Denmark Little Mermaids, one over Wales Dragon.
No.
The
All
Mermaids.
Welsh. Love the Welsh.
2-0 for Norway.
2-0 for Norway.
2-0 for Norway.
Who else
Who's
lost?
second game?
Jonas has assassinated Butcherfree.
Okay. It looks like the end of the conversation we heard before is, can he be knocked down? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, he's dead. That's probably
So
how
it's
it's
2-0 for Norway.
2-0 for Norway, so this is not looking good for... actually, you know what? I say it's not looking good, but considering how that Norbert game is going, I would have said that it's definitely looking good, but Norbert seems to be fighting it down. The Dreamer game seems to be going well for the Dreamer player.
That would be, for Norway to kick the British team.
Yeah.
Because they're not from the EU.
It's fine, it's fine. We're soon to be closer. This is obviously a good way of getting closer. So actually, I think we might be watching the decider.
Captains again.
I actually think we are watching the decider because I think, although it's 2-0 to Norway, I think Norbert and James might pull it out their side. So that'd be 2-2. And then it comes down to the Cryx game.
Well, you never know. We got an assassination. The game we thought was, for the English team.
Yep.
So
yeah, we both got. I can't believe we both got Asphyxious wrong.
but I think the Dreamers game is going to go with the English. It seems to be.
It's one of those where he's got. It comes down to James making a mistake, I think.
So
although that happened with Texas.
I have another question. Was it mandatory for all Grunkin players in the British team to shave their head?
No, I think just reading all those rules and all those combinations
Make
in
them,
such a
like,
short
pull their
space
hairs.
of time, they're like, ah. Yeah, it is actually quite funny that we see both James and Pat in the same viewpoints. Both playing the Dreamer, I might add. Both playing the Dreamer on this scenario. And
same
both
caster,
in very similar
same
setup.
shirt.
Yeah.
Same hairstyle.
Yep. I can't really comment. Mine's on his way out as well, so.
Could it be a trendsetter, like for the coming year in the UK?
Maybe.
For
Maybe
all
just
tournaments,
if you need to be serious,
and play the
he
Dreamer.
goes. Yeah. Get a few women into the game and you. Way forward. Annie Lennox style. So anyway,
Back to the game where I will actually try to
sorry.
comment.
Okay, so Miso said, "Don't jinx Norbert." Sorry, I'll his lack of hairstyle, I suppose. Also, was it a Hail Mary? I don't think so.
You can always get a wig.
Yeah, if for it to be a Hail Mary, I would have said it would have had to have been like Olaf's, where it had Orin, and therefore it had to punch through all those power tokens to get the Scourge. But because it's a Winterguard list,
Yeah.
there's no protection other than you Scourge. That means you kill everything in the AoE anyway because it's power 12. So that's
And I think Vision Element has just thought, you know what, I can get 12 guns on Busher. So
I can get 12 guns.
I'm
I can kill
fine,
those 6. There's only 6 nearby.
If there's only two guys, they're gonna be knocked down. There's not gonna be a tough thing going on. There's just if the sack one is gonna be dead right away.
Yep.
Probably gonna get another 8 shots more into Butcher if you could get the Parasite in.
And also,
it's gonna work.
we've talked about this as well. Was like the old Butcher was really good in Mark 2 because the way that the armor worked was he camped it and it just kept his armor high.
So you could
it
stay in
meant
the
he was-
middle and be armor 24.
Sitting.
I'm like, yep.
and he was immune to lower damage because power 12s just can't hurt you. When you're armor 24, they just literally can't hurt you. Now there actually is Bane. There actually is a problem because when you shoot him, your power 12s your dice up 6, 1-2 damage. Do you spend your focus to negate 1-2 damage?
You don't usually. You just
No,
wait for
so-
that spike.
Exactly,
And the
then,
spikes never happen.
And the spikes never happen, and then Butcher dies with 2 focus still left on him.
Well, at this point, you're going to use your focus, right? But the thing is, like, if the assassination happens in multiple turns, you're not going to be
But
willing to
what
spend that
happens is
focus.
because you can only negate 5 damage.
Oh, you mean if
If
they
the last one's a spike, you negate it, but it still does a couple of points of damage. If you've been nickel and dime down to that point, you just die with focus left. I've had it happen to me. Yeah. No, it's one of those like you don't until it happens, you don't really realise. You kind of think I'm sat on 6, I'm fine.
That's an interesting discussion we can have. Like, the spell feedback.
Yes.
So before it was one of the way to get through a caster that would have been camping like ton of focus. You say, okay, I'm gonna take one, you're gonna take one, you're gonna take one. Now the caster can say, okay, I'm gonna let this one point of damage, I'm gonna negate it. I'm gonna spend that focus. How do you, for example, you're playing against Kalisa.
Yep.
She puts feedback on one of your jacks. She starts chipping away your health. And afterwards at some point, they're going to be another jack going to be able to take a hit on your caster.
Okay.
And it's going to be probably a big hit or something, or there's going to be any other way that they're going to get to you. If you feel safe enough, how do you compute that thing? How do you say, okay, I am probably going to have to spend those focus right now to make sure nothing happens the turn afterwards or the turn afterwards? Because Sarah having this, huge assassination potential whenever it comes, you can just get the Phantom Hunter spell on whatever Jax or Kalisa herself, and that's it. Yeah, just take like a big shot and that's it. So at what point do you decide, okay, this turn is really safe. Let's say I'm going to waste that. Oh, something happened. Oh yeah, it's 6665.
Wow.
So
That is big
that
damage. That must be the Seether.
It was the Seether.
Yeah. Just make sure we're not, because there's been a lot of slight variations on the same list.
No, is it? No, I saw Andy marking the
Yes,
Seether.
the
So
Seether.
it's definitely
Yeah,
Seether.
the Seether. That's a big hit on the Seether. So actually, this decider with that kind of hit. It's scary close. Let's have a look. Yes, Norway is currently 2-0. Update from page 5 says that one match is favoured for Germany and all others are even. And to be fair, we're staring here and not a single game is finished. Every game seems to be in the
Give anything, yeah. There's something with one of us which I would say it's not probably in German favor, but probably scenario-wise it is. I don't know. It's probably scenario-wise.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
We haven't followed those games, so we can't really say. Only thing I can tell you is that yes, Norway is up 2-0, and that match is probably going to be determined right here in front of our eyes.
Yep.
As we expect the English team to take the 2 other games we're not streaming. But Norbert doesn't feel really confident or something. He's frowning.
He's frowning and he's got his hand on his head.
Norbert is usually so.
There's still
smiling
jacks on
all
that
the time.
table. There's still jacks on that table. Like I fully expected the game was going to happen where he would just remove those 5 jacks and then it would be the Winter Guard against the Errants. And yes, the Winter Guard would plow his way through, but then the scenario would run away from him because you can't really. I mean, you can charge Winter Guard in, but I ain't going to go well for you. But I can see at least three jacks still on the board. You know, that's
If
got
they're not hanging at like 3 boxes and probably ultimately beaten up, it means that Norbert is probably going to win the attrition game here.
Yeah.
I don't know where his clock was because I guess all those shootings might have hurt a little bit in his clock.
I mean, to be
we
fair,
still have a lot
he
of
should
time,
actually be
right,
up
so-
because that's another aspect of the game that people don't generally consider is that sometimes, like when you play against someone like Vindictus, like Haley, like Denny, okay, they're going to feat, right? And you're potentially not going to do much. So you might be there and you might go, okay, I've got like 20 shots, but most of them are probably going to miss. So that's 20 dice rolls. That's at least, even if you do them straight away, no thinking time, that's a minute. Okay? If you get to that point and you look at your army and you think, my army is completely neutralized or I can't activate or whatever, then what you're probably better doing is just thinking, right, positioning, forget attacks, position, put them in the right place so that you can survive and then pass it off.
That's probably the best thing to do, yeah.
What you've got from there is you've got a massive chunk of time. And a lot of these lists, like we can see the game we're playing here, we're down to 25 minutes already on Sphere. I think this actually might be turn 4. Yeah, because it's gone back to Sphere, who is first turn. So on turn 4, and we're already combined clock.
It's 50 minutes.
It's 50 minutes, so it's less than half the time.
Goodness,
We're at the start of round 4. There's a lot of clock advantage can be gained, and if you can stall out these kinds of lists, then that's one way.
Maybe around 4, yeah.
We've got Booze and he's going. I think we must have some Norwegians cheering.
In English, in the stream, we have 75 viewers,
Nice.
so 74 now. Somebody left.
Someone wasn't impressed. That must have been an English person, maybe.
Oh.
Or someone that doesn't like Cryx. Because this is probably the worst stream for you
If you don't like Cryx,
watching
if you're
Cryx.
fed up with Coven and Dark Host,
If you really hate Dark
Don't watch
Host,
this
this
stream.
is not the stream for you. What time is the final? Okay, there is some posters around the buildings which have the updated times, but they don't have any of those in here. So what I will do is I'll go get an update now, and I'll have a look and see what times the final's on as well. Okay? I'll go check out what's going on.
just one thing is, I'm a bit surprised that the Wraith Engine for Sphere hasn't gone out and is still in the place. Because right now I think he's going to go back to being corporal. It's going to be complicated to remove him. He's just going to be able to just go wherever he wants to be and start removing stuff. Could be Tartarus, could be something else, but he's in a position to remove key elements now. Anyway, just position yourself at the back of the army and be like, I'm here, I've got you guys, if you want to go, you're going to have to take 3 strikes, you're going to have to come around and fight me. Yeah, right now, oops. The officer, I guess it's the Bane officer that just ran in and just got rid of two models.
I'll just take them off to get rid of my set. And then the one here, 7. Yes, so 6. 9. And he has 2 entries. Again.
That is this power 10, 12, 21. You're taking 1 to the car, and this is 21.
I'm not sure if it was the right thing to charge this one first, but something I might not have seen here. Oh, it's Darragh actually. I thought it was a Bane Rider. Never mind. Yes, good thing. Darragh is going to be able to remove this one. hopefully, but it seems to be fine. Bane Rider is out. Darragh is going to be able to say, hey, I killed a model, I'm going to be able to cast a spell. The spell being probably... Thinking. It's very thinking. Darragh just killed a model. Battle Weasel proc, trick. Oh. Is it Hellfire? And no Tufts. So, yeah. And then Darragh's coming back.
Just on the other table, so Norbert is doing as we said. His jacks are pretty dinged up, we'll admit, but there are 3 of them left. There's only 1 heavy left for the men-off player, and it's out of the zones. So there is a bit of a fight going on. I'm not quite sure how the points are because I didn't see any of the tokens out for them. But I mean, I think Norbert's still in it. I mean, at minimum, he can rush the zones to prevent any sort of scenario win.
But with those, is Vindictus strong enough to just remove those jacks by himself?
No, Vindictus shouldn't remove them himself. He's not a beat stick caster. I mean, he's like any caster. He's got focus and he can go in, but he shouldn't be removing anything himself. Although they are dinged up, so we might be able to just finish one off.
One big swing.
But at that point, Vlad is the kind of caster that could then counter with the Kings and kill Vindictus. So
true.
Yeah.
He has that possibility of getting himself pretty pumped up.
Yep. On the Dreamer table, the Nemo player is basically hurling stuff into the zones. So he's got stuff in either side zone, and then he's trying to keep away. Basically, he's playing keep away with his models. And the Dreamer player looks to just still have all his beasts there.
Still everything alive?
I mean, it looks like everything's alive. My memory's a bit fuzzy because it is a bit of a block of beasts, so I think maybe one skin amounts might have gone down, but that's it, and he's just in the zone. So yeah, it's a strange one. I think maybe if the Dreamer has to split up to try and clear those side zones and not win separately, then maybe that would be the opportunity for the Dreamer to die. But
do you know if Vindictus has any Holy Zealots in this list? Because I was just looking at his Holy Zealots, the thing that just throw
I don't believe he
grenades.
does because it's an exempt part list.
Okay.
Yep. So
because I was just looking at it, I'm like, hey, that's
Or
something
Sacrifice.
fun. I didn't really know about that.
Yes. The theme he's in doesn't allow zealots, I believe, so that there are none in there. So I kind of think, it obviously could go the other way, so there is still a chance of England pulling this one back. I think it generally rests on this game, whether Andy can take it back. In fact, looking at the time, as much as we said that Andy was quite low on 22 minutes, Sver is now coming up to 15. Also, the last round we had on the door is saying 4:30, which isn't just over an hour. So they might be trying to turn out. It might be a little later, I'd imagine, if clocks run, because we've still got a combined. I know we've got a combined 45 minutes on this one, or 40 minutes. So yeah, so about 4:30, give them 20 minutes break. It's going to be hard for those people to go right up to the clock though, and to go straight into a final. So supposedly as well, we're just looking at the England teams. All 5 games are going for the other one. Okay, yes, I think it was a Hail Mary assassination. From what we could tell, one Dervish got 2 Thexus. And that was pretty much, from what we could see of the board beforehand, it was Thexus's game. There was 4 Dervishes that were just way too far away from anything over on the far side of the board, and there must have been 1 Dervish close enough to get sidestepped to Thexus. I did read, or I was sort of lip reading a bit when they were talking, and I did see Alex talk about 10, 11, 12. So I don't know whether it's when he's had those 3 attacks, the damage rolls, he's just really piled those damage through. And as we said before, there's only 5 damage you can negate. So that would actually kill him at 10, 11, 12 on damage, even with camp. So yes, we think that might have been. We think that was Thexus's game, but obviously, anything can happen with assassinations. On this game, I think we're actually with you guys as well. We're watching it, we're seeing what's going on,
but it's not very easy.
It's really because we thought the Wraith Engine was going to go down, but
it's not still
but
there.
It's not still there.
But again.
Sphere is slowly piling damage into the others.
So Texas is 14-14. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying it
It was
won't be,
my,
but...
yeah, it was +2 if he got up to synergy 3.
Okay, Asphyxious has popped his feet, so he's just doing all the
Just in case.
rolls. I have seen a 5 and a 4 and nothing was rolled, so yeah. Okay, so that was Asphyxious' feet. Are we on, is that 17 or 11?
17.
17.
I think 17,
17 minutes left for Sphere.
And the Wraith Engine for Andy is gone. The Wraith Engine for Sphere is still up, and I don't think it has activated yet. So
That is not looking good. The ball, from what we can tell, I think the ball is too far away to be a threat.
yeah.
I mean, the Wraith Engine could possibly run.
Well, for me, it's more a matter of the Wraith Engine getting behind the Seether. Eating the Seether and probably killing Tartarus would be a good thing to do.
Yep.
And just be engaging everybody in the back and be like, you know what, if you want to deal with me, you have to turn around and deal with me. And if you want to move forward, well, you don't care because you're ghosted.
I just want to say, Asphyxious, feet, killed Wraith Engine. Called it at the start. Yeah, not complete imbecile.
With about 8.
Yeah. No, I don't think it was
5,
about
but 8 if you got
Yeah,
Parasite.
I think it was. I think he must have
attack with something.
Yeah, double hellfire, defeated, double hellfire again, and taken it off.
He could have probably, actually I don't see an arc node down anymore, but he could have used, one of those
just straight
boosted
away.
hellfires where he tried to kill the Mesh and Wraith at the bottom. Because that's a zone where Sphere can score now. I mean, he has 3 Bane Riders at the bottom, and whatever's going to come.
Something in that zone. He's got any arc nodes, any jacks. I mean, no, actually, though, the Wraith Engine is touching. So that kind of limits the Wraith Engine a bit, because if he wants to move around.
Oh, you mean, okay, I see. Get your point.
Because if it moves away, that's the only thing in that area I can see. Actually, is that Asphyxious or is that's Asphyxious? Yeah, that's Asphyxious.
Next to Darragh.
And Darragh. So nothing on that bottom bar the Wraith Engine can actually score. It's gone back over to Andy, and he scored 2. Or he scored 2 extra this turn. So we think it might be 2-1.
So England Roses won against the Czech Eagles. Are you lost?
I'm just sorry, I just heard. I think it
lost
might be
some thoughts?
2-1 on the scenario points. I saw Andy mark 2 scenario points on that.
Just wanted to let you know that England Roses won.
England Roses won.
Yeah.
Nice, boys. So 3-0 already against the Czech Eagles.
So 2-1.
Good lads.
I don't see any points on the Sphere side.
He did put it on that side. I do remember seeing him mark 2, and which would account for the bottom
Can we
zone.
get a score check on the first table? England versus Norway, please. Thank you.
1-0 to England. Grimkin have just won.
With 1-0? Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry.
That's what's marked on the...
What, on the notes? What do I mark it then? It looks like he marked 2 scenarios.
Something looks like it's been rubbed out. Was he incrementing the turn?
Maybe. Okay, so still 1-0 to Andy. Yes. So on the other update. Yeah, and the other update we've got 1 win for England. So
It's 2-1? It is 2-1.
Oh no, sorry. Only
Here?
1-0 to
Okay,
the England Lions. We're still waiting on our games. So our games, it's still 2-0 to Norway. It's all to play for. There is still the chance. However slim.
I don't know if you see that Robin Mokish is about to jump on
Climb
the
on the
table,
table.
like the French player did yesterday.
There is this weird European thing about getting on tables. There is a photo. There is a wonderful photo of
the
Rich
French
Beach playing against the Don, and it's got this very confused face on it because the Don is like literally halfway across
Really?
the table.
Told you,
So
perspective.
brilliant.
It's better
Yeah,
if you got a
exactly.
view on top.
Exactly.
Probably, in the future, we even gonna get cameras on top drop, and the players
And
can
the
have
players-
like, a view
players
from
can have, like,
everywhere.
yeah,
It's
you
gonna be
know,
about-
go-
now that pre-measuring is okay, we're gonna have stuff, so we're gonna be able to say, oh, there's so many inches, so many inches, so many inches, so many inches. And you're gonna be able to measure things. You know, I'm pretty sure that you can actually pump that up with like actually, barcodes or anything on the models on the. So the software recognizes it and tells you what is in charge range and what is not. That would be awful though.
that would destroy the game. I think. You know,
Like,
you'd be
okay,
like,
guys,
wow.
no more decisions. You have a
so
computer to do
clinical.
this for you.
So let's have a look. Yeah, so England were going to win. Let's have a look. So it was against Wraith. It was Dreamer into Wraith. Looks like I can see Virus
it's
is up
back
close.
to Andy's side now. So,
So
the Wraith Engine
Andy's
actually
just gone
stayed
sub
where
20
it
minutes
is.
as well.
Yeah, Andy stayed. The Wraith Engine has done anything weird, so we have it right there in the middle. But you can go through and incorporate all models like it's not really there. So you could. I see an Arc Node back or something. Just behind the Wraith Engine, maybe it's going to be a good moment for Andy to just finish killing those jacks and be like, well, the less models you have to score, the less problem we're going to have in the future.
So this is the point where for Andy losing that Arc Node is really painful because Asphyxious has now been allowed to just come up
And Hellfire stuff.
and Hellfire stuff. Before then, although he's now camping 3, at that point, if there was an Arc Node still available, that would mean that Asphyxious would have to maybe not do a Hellfire. Say, for example, he hadn't killed the Wraith Engine, and he's got that one last spell he can do. It's that kind of, now he's out in the open, Arc Nodes, bunch of Stygian Abysses, and sad times for Asphyxious, but he got it early. It's out, so now I'm kind of feeling this is looking like Sphere's game, which is good on Sphere. The fact that we were pretty convinced that Andy had the tech needed to take this down, and instead looks like he's. I think what's happened is that Sphere's won that attrition. He's recognised how to trade, and he's just trading better. He's thrown his Wraith Engine in, but he's made it at a point that Andy's not been able to trade. So he's like, for some reason, obviously we don't know what's going through Andy's head at the time, but for some reason Andy hasn't decided to take that Wraith Engine. He's then lost his Wraith Engine, so it's just the trades are all going in Andy's direction. On the other side, though, that Wraith Engine is kind of stuck.
It is
in
stuck,
that
but
position.
it doesn't really care about everything is going to be up and running. It blocks 2 zones. It's contesting those 2, so nothing's going to move, and so we're going to see something probably going to change on the top zone here.
Yeah, so it looks like
and
Sphere's
there is
now.
more model from Sphere here that's going to be able to just finish the stuff. Like EU were probably fitted, brought by those Bane Warriors. The last Bane Warriors probably I don't see any more Bane Riders from Andy's. So things can be ghostly and move from that obstruction. If there's only Bane Warriors without the help of Darragh, if they run, it's only 10 inches and not going to do anything. If they walk, it's only 5 inches, so it's even less possibilities to just put yourself here and there. And now what I think is going to happen is that at some point, I'm pretty sure Sphere next turn might have, he has a corridor basically, like to just destroy Andy's objective and be like, what, now I got a point as well. But I'm in your area. Let me get something to just run up there and start scoring. And it could be that Wraith Engine that could just be throwing the thing, on the top side and be like, nope, this guy's going to be here, and this is what's going to happen.
The question is, next turn, is Asphyxious going to... he's the only one that can do it, I suppose, but is he going to be the one? Because it looks like there's a Machine Wraith in rubble in the zone.
Yeah, I think it's pretty simple. It's going to walk forward, Hellfire, push to hit, and then teleport back.
Yeah.
Probably behind the wall. And it still can get killed by assassinations, but I don't see any more Arc Nodes on Andy's side. And if necessary, you could just finish by just walking in again and be like, this was the point I was missing.
Just trying to have a look, see what the stats of that Machine Wraith are. Other than, God damn you, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. That's generally what I think when I see them. Okay, so it's Def 14. So in that cover, that makes it Def 18. That's not easy. That's not a guaranteed hit from that Hellfire. Here we're talking
Rubble?
50-50 there? Yeah, Rubble.
In 11. There's no rerolls.
Nope.
It's gonna have to happen at some point, so maybe he's gonna try to find a solution, maybe to charge at the very end, and attack at the last turn, be at the very bottom, comp everything else, and be like, I'm here, try to get something in my face, and put all those Bane Riders, you know, shove in the face of these models, and just removing all the threats that could be there, and be like, I don't care, you can come at me, bro. If you have one attack, it's not gonna kill me.
Andy, so Seether's coming in. Just trying to finish off some Banes. This is the thing as well, like normally how the games go is you have these lines form because things don't kind of go past each other, but with this you've got, you know, lines past lines because they can just walk past.
Yeah.
Ghostly on both sides, just keeping it. Let's have a look. So we've got Sad, if England lose 3-2, then the Thexus assassination will be a heavyweight if it was a Hail Mary. Yes, I mean, we obviously don't know 100%. It's not kind of proper at the moment to go up and talk to them and find out. We might ask winning captain just to see if they're aware of what happens when they come over. But yes, it will be. I'd imagine that Alex wouldn't be too appreciated. Too impressed with that if it turns out that his game, which I would imagine he was pretty confident into, is the one that ends up deciding it.
I think sacrifice is hard to trigger. Did it make you have to play the
I was really sorry. Just overhearing now. So Pat's won his game and he's currently quizzing his opponent as to how well his Arcana did and which ones would be better. See, kids, this is how you actually get good at the game: is that you ask the questions, you don't just go, yeah, I won, and run up. You find out from your opponents what they were thinking, because that's going to be a big thing about Grimkir, is how you actually think your way around the problems they propose, and vice versa. You know, it's going to be a big mind game with your opponent trying to get you to trigger Arcana that you don't want to, and then vice versa. So we've still got 3 games going for England Knights and 4 games going for England Lions.
And Andy seems to have brought enough Banes down here, so there is a fight again.
Yep. So all those Banes have gone south, and we've got right. This must be Andy popping his mini feet.
Absolutely. So let's see, because I hope all those Banes are actually attacking or they're not. But I mean, if you bring them back, they cannot attack right away.
I think. Let's have a look. So we've got 12 minutes on the clock. So it's 12 to 15. This is feeling like a horrible. To be fair, right? If Andy is able to protect his flag, which I think is going to be his objective, which is really difficult to do when you've got Ghostly. Then maybe he can hold it, but yeah, this is looking a bit scary.
Trigger Vengeance.
That's advancing. I think that's Tartarus. Yeah.
Tartarus, who is attacking? Okay, there was something there.
I think that was the
Stalker.
Oh, Stalker. Okay, so the Stalker is down.
Yeah, the Stalker had to die. Definitely.
Yes. It's a Stalker currently staring at the Witch Coven. Priority number 1. Okay, so. See, the way I see this now is the objective is a point that Sphere can get. We're looking like, this probably might end up going to clock, or they might end up speeding up their turns, which means
there's a charge into Asphyxious.
Oh.
8 and 7 is 15. It's on impact. About 12, 20 max, gonna be nothing. Charge attack is gonna 4 and another number which we don't know, which we'll never see, but looks like it is eating and is doing 13 plus 15 or nothing. So maybe he missed the attack and he was rolling the damage just to see, because it doesn't look like Sphere has been changing anything on the.
It looks like he negated 1.
Yeah, and then that's it.
And then left it there.
So now I think this Bane Rider is in trouble. I was glorious. There was a Leroy charge.
It was beautiful.
And now Asphyxious is gonna say nope. We're in my world now.
So you still, I think this one's really hard to Really hard to judge, to be fair. We've got Howling Mad Murdoch, who reckons they're going to go from 1-0 to 3-0. I can only imagine he's talking about the other
Our game? I don't know. We can't really comment to that.
Can't really comment, unfortunately, because we have to kind of keep quiet when we talk about the other team, other than just stating actual results, because the German players are kind of the other side of the desk to us.
I know it's coming.
Yeah,
But somebody knows
to be
it's
fair,
coming.
looking at it, Niso's saying slightly favoured for England, but games on a knife edge. Yeah, I think, I mean, obviously, Pat might do some commentary afterwards. If there is a win, or the German player might do, the German captain will do commentary afterwards. But that's what they'd expect, to be fair. You know, I never would have expected either side to trounce the other side. You know, in fact, that's what we kind of said at the start, wasn't it? That we expected it to go 3-2 either way.
Yeah.
This one, I kind of feel that it is probably going a Norway win. I kind of think that Sverre might pull this one out.
I think for me the big thing is that this Wraith Engine is still there, and as long as the Wraith Engine is still there, at some point Sverre can say, I'm going to push the button, I'm going to use it, and I'm going to destroy the key things that you still have that I don't want to be there anymore. No. And that's it.
Yeah. So it's looking the pairings. Yeah. So the pairings looked like a 3-2 in favour, but we did have a Thexis. Thexis who got assassinated, and we believe. I mean, we were looking at the photos before the assassination,
and I don't feel any points have been.
No. So I think we're on turn 5.
Oh wait. There's one. How? When? Where? Nowhere. Why was there 1 point? Is there something we missed? It doesn't destroy the objective, or maybe it's just a leftover, but I see, and these units around it.
I am confused.
I am very confused. We're gonna trust them and update the score, but so this is round 5.
Yes, so German commentators are sounding sad. Right, yes, so the Thexis one, from what we looked at some pictures before it, and it was just a sea of drudges, and too many of the dervishes had gone off to deal with an ambushing pack of drudges, so it looked as though Alex was going to, he still had his 2 heavies up. It looked like Alex was going to just grind it home, but then the next thing we saw is we think there was a dervish. We didn't obviously want to go over due to the sensitivity of it at the time, but there was one dervish next to Thexis who we think might have double. We were going through the possibilities. We might think he might have mobility through a forest, double sidestepped off some drudges, and got to Thexis, and then with his 3 remaining attacks, we did see someone said 10, 11, and 12. So we think that's maybe the damage rolls. And that amount would go through. Thexis. Even with focus, that would go through Thexis. So we think that's why the Thexis match, which was we both thought it was favoured for Thexis, is going that way. Although on the other hand, I can't quite see it. It looks like the Jacks have finally fallen for Norbert, but I mean they had a good run into an army of weapon masters. Yeah. So
let's see. I think it's going to depend on how many Winter Guards left.
Yes. So how many Winter Guard and how many? I think actually it's going to be how many errants left post those Jacks going down. Because if there's enough of those Winter Guard just to shoot them off the board and claim the zones, that's going to definitely go.
Okay, so a token has been put down. What would that be? It's I guess one of the Bane
stuff.
So
Sverre, this one must be. Oh, is it still on Sverre? Oh no, it is still on Sverre. Sorry. So he must be on, I think that's 12 minutes 56. So this is definitely going to come down. I think this is going to come down to turn 7 because I don't think either side is going to expose themselves to an assassination. I think that due to that, it's going to come down to scenario, but they've not been scoring. We're struggling to see whether it's 1-0 or 1-1. We can't even see how they ended up 1-1 because of there is models everywhere in the zone, so we can't see where he got this point. The objective is still alive. So we're not quite sure on that one, but the chances of someone suddenly swinging this to a 5+ lead is kind of slim with the volume of models that are back. I mean, obviously, if Sphere murders literally everything now, then that's a possibility. But I
The
think this is gonna
Seether, you know, he has the Berserk thing,
But yeah, because the
there's not
problem
enough
is that
models
that
now
Wraith
to-
Engine now has become this kind of stumbling. It's kind of brilliant but terrible for Sphere because it can. It's one of the few models that's able to score that zone outside of Asphyxious. It's now basically impregnable to most of the army except for maybe the Coven. But for that to stay the same, it can't do any work.
Yeah.
It has to just sit there and be a Dark Shroud bot and just be a pain and blocking the ways.
And now that there's less and less cavalry, actually no, it's not true.
Oh,
Sphere has
big
a fair
dice
amount.
there from
Oh.
Sphere 652 to the 5.
So I
These
guess
Seethers,
one
their
Seether-
armor needs to be
he lost
checked.
he lost on them for sure.
Yeah.
It went to 5, and
Another hit on the 12.
now it's on the
Okay.
the Banes on top here. So, and I guess there are Banes dying. One is tough, one is
No.
not tough. And I guess it's gonna be a last attack to finish the best one.
Oh, Tangle of Veins.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, Banes.
Rain's falling everywhere.
I don't know if that's a hit or damage. I don't know, but doesn't look like there's any Banes left on this specific space for Indy.
No.
There's somebody.
Although, he's not going to score that
So
zone
the
still.
Grimkin is 1 for England.
Has he won?
I don't know, but
They
he
stood
left the
up?
table and it felt like he was in a good position. So they might be.
Mike? Can you just check if James won for us? I think he did win. We thought.
So it could be 2-1 now, still for Norway.
We're sending people out to go find out for us. Yes. So we win for that.
2-1.
So there's a win for Dreamer, which we expected.
Norbert, it just shake hands, something happened. And Norbert,
No, it is smiling, but is that a smile of
defeat, or is that a feast? Smile of win?
Norbert good? Norbert died. No, Norbert. Oh, so Norbert Vindictus did
That
pull it
is.
out.
Do you know
So
what that means?
That means that
That means Norway wins this round 3.
Norway wins this round 3-1 at
for
the
now.
moment.
Yeah.
But obviously could be 4-1. So
What happened? Oh yeah, the Norwegian player is just double thumbs up. Everybody is really happy,
yeah.
and his team doesn't believe that Vindictus actually won.
To be fair, I'm aghast. I mean, we predicted the Vindictus win, but after that first few turns, I am very surprised that
I'm a bit
Vindictus
sad that it's not
won.
going to be an England, English versus Englishman versus Englishman final. Could have been fun.
It could have been.
We
It
would
could
have stopped the clock at 5 to offer everybody a cup of tea, I guess.
Yep.
Oh. But we're gonna still keep commentating on the last game because this wouldn't be polite to just start things right here. Absolutely not. And we
So
are very interested by
unfortunately,
knowing.
I'm sure Andy's
you know,
aware, but he's
Banes
going
on
to keep
Banes.
going. He's the England captain. He's got to keep that stiff upper lip that the English people are proud of. That and queues. We're good at queuing and stiff upper lips and moaning. That's
That's
the
things that characterize-
trifecta.
Okay.
And bowler hats, maybe. You would never see a happier Englishman when he's sat down with a cup of tea, moaning about being in a queue. You know, it's just the way forward. Yeah, I must admit, being on the continent, some people don't get queuing. It does aggrieve me a little bit when you just get swarms of people who don't queue, and you're just like,
There
no.
are queues.
Society-
I mean,
society needs to
in
function.
France, we have all those queues in front of all the administrative buildings. We're famous for those, so we know about queuing.
Yes, yeah. So anyway,
Oh,
let's move away
Tartarus
from
is dead.
politics.
I think did Tartarus. There was a Tartarus
So-
and Tartarus action, I guess.
Yep. So the Wraith Engine was that the Wraith Engine? who
Wait,
did
wait,
it? It looks like
Asphyxious-
it.
wait, oh, it's Darragh. Okay, Darragh is just gonna charge the Machine Wraith and be like, you know what?
I got this, bro.
It is way enough to hit.
Yeah. So this looks like it's gonna get
I mean,
2 points.
It could go -2 and reposition back, but
I don't think there's much point at the moment.
there's the cavalry unit doesn't care. But I think
So the Wraith
there's
Engine now he's safe. He's gonna turn. He's gonna make some
There's-
attacks to finish off that Seether.
yeah, and it's gonna try to finish it since the Seether took such a
Looks like he
massive hit.
missed. Second attack. Oh no.
I know it's damage.
It hit.
So
Wow.
So it's already okay. So 2 arms
So
down
that,
for the Seether.
you know what? That must have taken out its movement because he rolled a 5.
It's not gonna go anywhere now. No, the Seether is defense 12.
Oh, is it
It's
defense
this
12?
last one defense, one more mat. The Jack is mat 8, so it works. And whatever happens, the Seether is not down.
this
So
is- yeah,
the
this is-
bottom zone is now completely controlled by
So we're
Seether.
gonna get 2 points.
And I don't think there is any
I think
way.
he's probably going to be able to. Yeah, this looks like it's finally. And I think that's basically kind of how we said
He's
it.
going to score at least 2 points here now, and if he is able to, he probably can get the objective.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's going to be a 4-1 for Norway, it looks like. But as bad as that sounds, I think either side would have come away happy with the win. I think 4-1 sounds more severe than the games were. Like there was games
And
where
Asphyxious is just
the
getting
Vindictus
rid of the
one,
Bane
we were
Riders.
sure Vlad was going to win.
Yeah.
Pretty sure the Texas one was going to win. I kind of did jump on the.
How did we end it up?
How we ended up? So both of us got them wrong. So you ended up with 2 predictions correct, and I ended up with 2 predictions correct. So 18 to 11.
I'm over 10. But it's already something.
Yes, yeah, honestly, it's definitely. I mean, no. On a hill, 4 camp, no arc nodes. Yeah, this is Spheres now.
You can try to run the ball, but even that is not going to be enough. And 3 Stygian Abyss is about 12.
I'm pretty sure it's turn 6 as well.
And they won't be able to boost damage, so it's not going to work. It's just not going to work, I'm afraid.
No.
But
This is just a matter of pride for Andy now to try and take things home.
maybe he's going to try to get as many destruction points as possible. You know, when you look at those numbers, you have teams already over 12. 1,200 destruction points. I think there's some teams where it's that before this round, so.
Okay, we've been asked to try and find out what's happened with the Texas players, so I will go and have a talk to Alex, seeing as he's on his own at the moment.
Go ahead. So, games are still going. And it's still pretty tense in the tables in front of us between Germany and England. It's not tense in the sense like negative tense. It's tense in the sense that everybody's really focused. And I guess Andy's trying to find a way to, do something about the situation. And they're trying to measure like how far they can go to try an assassination, but I really don't think this is something that's going to happen. I mean, even if you roll 12 and 12 and 12s, Asphyxious is probably going to be about 22 like for each attack, so it's going to be, I don't know, it doesn't feel like it's going to go in this way.
Go for another crit line.
So yeah, trying to measure some kind of assassination. I'm going to try to update the score, but at some point it feels like the players just haven't stopped updating this. And it's really coming down to this last effort. Basically, if Andy is not able to stop this right now, they can just end the turn and that's it. It's either the ball is going to be there and we just have to kick the ball far enough so it's not in the zone anymore, or it's just a straight win. That's it, and he's conceding. So looks like Norway is taking this this game 4-1. Yeah. Sorry, Chris. It's 4-1 for Norway.
It is indeed, yes. Yes. Okay, so just come back talking to Alex. So basically what happened was he was sat on a hill behind a forest, camping 8. The dervish was just able to get him into he was just on the edge of Amon's control. And when the Dervish was just in range of the model that he needed to sidestep off, and then that meant that he was literally just in range of Thexus, like his melee range. So it was everything was literally to the precision measurement to get that on. And then so we got there with 4 attacks. Oh, and also due to where Ammon was, Alex was sure that he would come out of synergy to get to Thexus.
Okay.
But he was able to be literally perfectly in combat with Thexus and perfectly just in the control range at the back. So what that meant was that he had synergy for it. He missed his first attack on a 3, needing forced to hit. I think I wasn't too sure on the dice rolls, but basically said I think he did a dice -1 once he's reduced the damage. He did 8 on the 2 first attacks, and he needed a 9. He needs to roll a 9 on 2 dice to finish it off. I'll roll 9, and he got the 9. So it's one of those where
it's going to come to the very
it's I mean I don't know what those odds are. I'm pretty sure someone out there will be odds machining it, but it sounds like it was a very sort of I hate the term Hail Mary because it kind of makes it sound like there's no chance. Getting a synergy jack to any caster is gives you a chip in the chair. But it does sound like Alex was pretty sure that everything wasn't in range. Everything was just in range. It was just perfectly in range to get all the pieces together. If any one of those pieces hadn't come together for him, the Ammon player was. We were talking about the Ammon player was literally just staring at the HUD. So Ammon would have just been dead. So it's
that's it.
tough to defeat. But it turns out it didn't matter in the end.
Yeah, in the end, it's just
made 3-2.
So Norway is going to be in the finals.
Norway in the finals.
And we're still going to try to get a...
We still don't know what's going on.
4 games going on with the German versus English team.
Yes.
I don't know. I see that. I don't want to comment, to be honest.
Yeah, we can't comment
because there are things that we see and...
what I'll do then is I'll go get the Norway captain.
Absolutely. I'm still discussing with Andy, so...
I'll go pull him over and see what he has to say.
It's just the main Right. I'm gonna put it on you. Not gonna lock back.
Nerds.
You have 1 more shot on this. 1 more on this. 2 more. One one's open here. I bungled this. I'm not gonna die.
Norway captain is coming in. Hello.
Hi.
Please come in and take a seat.
Aha. So, Vasper here, captain of Norway Munich.
Yes.
Yep, Norway Munich. So happy with the results.
I'm very happy.
Very happy. What did you think? Because we were kind of convinced it was probably going to be 3-2 either way. We had that kind of discussion at the start.
Yes. We felt like the matchups were a little bit in our favor, not that much.
But enough to possibly do that.
A little bit. We had a hard time deciding how to sort our third drop.
Yep.
Where we had like the 2 leftover lists that they would choose.
Yep.
We ended up giving our senior player the boss of Grimkin because we know it's hard and we don't really.
Yeah.
We haven't played too much against Grimkin, so that was an issue. He took the boss, thinking that I would be good anyways.
Okay. So in the Cryx mirror, you were confident that you could
I'm
take
not
that down?
confident that I will win, but I've played it a lot.
Yes. Yes, you have, obviously. I can attest to this. There are a lot of Cryx players in
So the Denny matchup is probably a little better for him, but it's so easy to do a mistake, and then you just die. And Coven tends to die on the grind, as you see on the screens.
Yep.
He struggles to kill my engine, he has to run his engine into my zone, or doesn't have to, but his engine just dies when he puts it anywhere within success.
So actually, yeah, what happened? You charge your engine pretty early in the game.
No, I just run it up.
Ah, okay.
You never use it for anything in the early game. You just
What killed the arc there, by the way?
Yeah.
my Stalker rolling fucking amazing.
That's the thing we couldn't see,
right, okay.
because we saw you rolling in like something removing a model, and we felt like, oh wait, so this is something we couldn't see maybe, and we missed, and like the Wraith Engine is actually.
So my Wraith Engine is in both zones.
Yeah, true.
Making
yeah,
sure they can't score. It gives Dark Shroud to my Stalker going in.
So it just lives there for the rest of the game.
So it will live there for the game until a state where I'm sure it doesn't die.
Just to confirm, did you do triple Hellfire into the other Wraith Engine to kill it?
No. Oh, no.
How did you kill it?
Gaspy just murders it.
Oh, just murdered it immediately.
just
Oh,
went
it's
in?
sustained attack.
This is state attack, my power 15. And I have Dark Shroud.
Gaspy1 then.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah, Gaspy1
Fair.
I did
vengeance.
4 hits and he dead.
That makes sense. That makes
I
sense.
always boost my first attack just to be sure I have sustained attack. So I charge in, boost to hit, and just roll it out. And a feat, and a TK teleport back. My feat gives me full focus.
That is true. This
So-
is why
so
it
it's-
wasn't very complex. You know, it wasn't a big risk for you just to feed
There
back.
was
and
no
like,
risk.
that-
I hellfired his UA, boosted
Yeah,
the hit,
yeah.
boosted damage, used 5 focus on it because I know the engine will die anyways.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. Completely
Brilliant.
makes sense.
So, into
Okay.
the finals of WTC.
Yes.
Thoughts? Have you got someone you prefer to take on, or are you not going to say?
We're not sure. We really struggle to find a good answer to Grimkin.
Okay.
But it's been okay so far.
Okay.
So that's an issue. Germany looks really strong. Yes.
Both teams look really
England looks really strong. It will be a very good match anyways. Yes.
So either way, happy days.
Yeah, thank
Okay.
you.
In that case, we'll let you go back to your team anyway. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully see you.
Trying to understand what's happening with the German team. It seems a couple of games have ended.
Okay.
But there's
Robin
no-
is on the table.
Yeah, and but there's no big yay or oh.
I can't
coming
understand no
from
one.
anybody. But the game between Dominic and Ryan has ended. Maybe still going on in Bur. Lions Germany 2-1 deciders. Orkova is down to the rich.
Down to the rich.
It's down to the rich.
He managed to pull through last game.
I don't know because I
Really managed to pull through on the final game.
Wait, it's over?
Mr. Beach. Lions Germany 2-1 decider is the Coven.
I have no clue what's happening. I don't know. It's too far away. What is
I'm
Robin
looking.
playing?
I can see a lot of red still on the table.
I know, yeah,
dead
but
things.
maybe Robin has red models as well. Who knows? What is he playing? What is Robin playing?
No.
Robin is on the table. Simon, what's happening?
What's going on?
Yes.
It's all a frenzy here.
Oh no!
So as expected, it's been a close game. It's come down to 2-2. So the final game on which is Rich Beach versus Robin. I don't know his surname. As I said, Robin has mounted the table though. He's doing.
Yes,
He's like a
mounted
display.
the table.
Yes,
Absolutely.
that table has been well and truly mounted. So maybe it's like an intimidation.
Gesture.
Yeah. So let's have a look. Oh, it appears it must be against Haley. So lots of jacks jammed down Haley's throat. That sounds like it's a potential good thing, but
Okay, let's do commentation. Let's comment things that we have no clue what's happening. Okay, so we know Richard list, we've already seen it. So let's look at Robin's list. Lorelai.
Signal Robin.
England is up 4-2 on control points, so I might be going for England. So it's LE free. It's LE free. Everything can happen. But
That's a horrible game.
and it's not, you know, it's those are two very good players, right?
Two good players. They have played each other before. They have played each other on stream before. This was the first Una 2 game. I believe. I think it was at the Nationals, and
There's a clock thingy. No, it's not the right table.
wrong table. Yeah, so I believe this was the game when Rich ran up and then asked what Una 2 did pre-nerf. So it didn't go too well for Rich after that point. And I think that was also the game where he forgot to activate what's his name, Joe. There was a bit of a meme happening. Rich's own wife was on the stream watching. In fact, I would imagine she's probably watching right now. No pressure there, Rich. German commentators more happy but nervous.
It's
You can never count.
we have a judge at the table. They're only have a couple of players, but they have taken a step back at what's happening. I think what I don't know. Maybe there's a way for Robin to win it, but they want to make sure that he has to focus to make sure he does it.
Yeah, they have no business doing it.
This is for the final. Is it going to be Norway, Germany?
To be fair, could you ask anything more for a semi-final? You know, to get to that 2-2 and the final game we're playing. You know, either way, both teams, you know, look like they've ground each other down.
I think this was correct. The thing that got the Hurricane knocking shield, and that just thought that.
It is Papa is just packing his toys away, unconcerned as a captain. He obviously has lots of faith in Rich, or he's just giving it to go home.
It's like, yeah, whatever. Or maybe it's just it just knows that whatever he thinks, nothing's gonna change. It's being decided elsewhere.
Yeah.
A couple meters away from him. The German team seems.
That's got to be horrible. That you're playing a game and you've got
just wait.
five.
You don't know what's happening. Oh yeah, that's.
There must be like
for the
extra
final.
people.
I think we should close the door because we will get people that will try to get in and try to be around the tables.
So, yeah, we'll have to keep it restricted to just the final, I think.
Starting to look back for Cater. That's what. Thank you, by the way, Miso 82 for
Keeping us
us
updated.
to look what's happening from the other stream, which is funny because it's just really a couple of meters away from us. But there's so many people between us and the table. There's nothing we can see. We can see Robin, Alf, halfway on the table.
Yeah, fine.
1 minute for Germany, 3 minutes for England. We don't know about the turns.
Now this is Rich's field park. We have a thing locally where I have to plan 2 hours for every single game because Rich will always take the clock.
If it's already the 7th turn, I mean it's probably the last turn for Robin, and it's just putting his models where he wants to be. It's just making sure that everything's
Could be,
precise,
that
and then he can let those 3 minutes for Rich afterwards. It doesn't matter. It's not going to change anything. There's not going to be any more passing of the clock. It's going to be 3 minutes for Rich to solve the puzzle the German player is going to put in front of him, and that's it. And there's a laser.
It looks like it's gone over to.
Oh no.
Rich?
It's 1 minute left. I don't know. I don't know what they're calculating, but.
Okay, there's some running.
This is Rich playing right. Rich seems to have the game in his mind though. He seems to know what he has to do.
As I said, sub 5 minutes is Rich Beach's field back.
He lives able to put 7 turns in those less than 5 minutes.
No, seriously.
This time
This is
dilation.
the weird. As I said, like every
Rich,
steamroller.
a Time Lord.
I'm pretty sure that he could finish games much earlier, but he's just wants everyone to go home lately, later than normal.
Yeah.
You know, there is no. The commentary seems to think it's completely up in the air.
Well, you know the commentary.
I am loving the fact that obviously the other commentary team could see and know more than us, and they seem to be about as clued in as as this minute.
There's a lot of English-speaking person around this, and I think the Wales team is just waiting patiently outside. I see Martin, I see Adam.
So Pat over the shoulder there.
Tension.
Ruling's gone against England about trampling.
Oh. So This is the moment where we call Jason Enos to have like multiple judges to make sure that there's no calling that would like hurt the clocks of any of those players. It seems that Robin is playing now.
I think that's it. I just seen it. Yeah, I think that's Germany's taking it. He's watching the clock. There's a bit of rocking back and forth.
Oh, damn.
What the fuck is going on?
It's okay, that's the last move from Robin.
So is Rich going to win?
So that's it.
Basically,
Robin
like
cannot pass the clock anymore. He's down to his 3 last seconds. And he just
3
passed the clock
seconds.
before being clocked himself and Rich has to solve the puzzle.
No, but we're not sure who's got the highest CPUs and if that's 10-7. It might be 10-7. I think Rich might be ahead though.
Oh man, if he clocks himself.
Rich is rolling something into something.
Who went first?
We don't know. We're not on that stream. We were on the other stream. No, that's that one.
There's
12, I'm at 17.
This is probably the worst stream to watch at the moment because we're just enthralled. There is literally about 15 people all around one table.
9 Englishmen, 8 Englishmen behind Rich, and there is the whole German team is behind
They did well
Robin.
They did really well together. No one expected that.
I think it might go to Rich. 3 seconds to go. If he can contest.
Like nobody is panicking. The 2 players are really. And now the counting is good.
Just so you can appreciate this, there's 6 seconds on the German clock, there's 14 seconds left on the English clock.
Where did
So the first strike killed it,
These guys,
and he's got a
grinder.
you got it?
It looks like Germany have taken it.
They don't believe it. Down to the very last seconds, Germany got it. Oh, this was tense.
Oh, the dream.
Oh no.
It
So
looks like as though the England dream is over. Both England teams out of the semi-finals.
the final here at WTC 2017 is going to be Norway versus Germany.
Yep.
And that's how
I need
far
to go
it's
get a drink, to be
It cannot go much. That's down to the very last seconds.
Yeah.
Of each strike.
Literally, at one point there was 4 seconds on one clock and 14 on the other. So
It's just
yeah. Terrible. Right, okay. The next round, it's done for half an hour, but
30 years of hurt. Where was that?
so we're going to cut off the stream just at the moment. I'm not sure what's going on next. Whether we're going to just cover another round, the main stream or something like that.